How's it going, everyone? Let me know if the audio is good to go. Metabots waiting room. People talking about the YuYu Hakusho and Gundam. I'm waiting a second here to see if the stream. There we go. I see myself. So yeah, here we are. I think we've got a handful of people in already. Sounds good. I appreciate it, Boondock Games. Today, I've got a lot of Pokemon behind me. I probably should have changed the background, but it's a non-Pokemon stream. No Pokemon, no Metazoo. Quaxley will watch over the proceedings, but yeah, I bought a massive collection. Anyone has any interest? Hopefully you've got two monitors. Keep me on one monitor. In the description below, I linked a drive folder, and in that drive folder, you can go through, I believe there are 41 videos. I purchased a collection, approximately 17,000 cards for $25,000, 41 binders, and there's a video for each binder. The person that I bought it from, same guy that I bought the $23,000 Pokemon collection from, he went through, flipped page by page, every single binder. And I guess I can show you quickly. Let me see how well this works. I've got to do a VLC video source. Let me find the right file. I will say I was a couple minutes late. I'm usually a minute or two late. OBS crashed twice on me with what I was trying to do, so I'm a little nervous. Hopefully we don't crash OBS again, because that will kill the stream. But let me just pick one of these random binders to show. I guess let me make sure I pick a decent one. But I'm not going to bring them all up on screen as I'm doing right now. I just want to show you what videos are in the description in case you want to look at one, in case you want to propose one to be shown, because all these binders are literally on the other side of the table from me. So yeah, here's an example right here. This is the Dragon Ball score. I will say 2 binders have already heavily been rated. Sorry, more than 2 binders. 2 types of binders. So all the Dragon Ball binders have been rated for graders. And that's what these cards are behind me. Also, the Naruto binders have been rated for the big hitters, the ultra rares, the things that I might grade. But if there's any video in the description, just tell me the number and I can go get that binder. Basically, on the other side of my desk here, I have a table. On that table, there's 41 binders labeled to match the video in case people want to see, hey, closer up, can I see that Gundam binder? Can I see that Yu-Gi-Oh binder? I know that most of the value of the collection was in the Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry, most of the value of the collection was in the Dragon Ball and in the Naruto. So that's why I started there. The way I'm going about this, I've actually had a lot of people ask before, when you buy a collection of that size, how do you go about getting your money back? I usually go for the big cards first. So let me go to the other camera, and I went with a nice blue, almost like a neon blue Ultra Pro playmat, just so that we're not looking at Pokemon like we normally are. No distractions. But yeah, I went through. Let me get the other ones. And I did, anyone who watched Pokeflips in its entirety, you probably saw some of the bigger hitters I had from Dragon Ball. Not all of them by any means, but Dragon Ball and Naruto, as I said, were the ones that I went right to pull out for grading. I've not yet sent any for grading, but these are the signature cards from Dragon Ball Super. There's a lot of value here. How much exactly? I know some of these, if they hit PSA 9, PSA 10, you can be talking 4 figures. There's no 5-figure cards here, but definitely a decent bit of value. Obviously, 17,000 cards. I paid $25,000. I paid about $1.50 a card, slightly less. There are probably 15,000 cards that are just worth nothing. So maybe not worth nothing, but worth less than 50 cents a piece that I feasibly can't take pictures of, describe the condition list on eBay. So I need a lot of valuable cards to get my money back. I see your message here, Nat. Where did my highlighted message go? Let me get the highlighted message back. For some reason, my highlighted message is here, but not here. I accidentally deleted that source somehow. There it is. So are we planning on updating the PokeFlip Spotify? Unfortunately, it just wasn't worth the effort. It was very easy to do when we were posting pre-recorded videos. So we would pre-record the video, we would time the upload for the video to go live at the same time as the audio. But when we do a live stream now, to go back and to rip the audio, and then with my terrible internet to upload it, it doesn't come out till a day or two later. And we get 2,000 plus views on our YouTube videos. We were getting about 50 plays. We were getting about 50 plays on each of our Spotify. So there are great services out there. Some of them free, some of them questionable legitimacy maybe. But you can rip audio from YouTube videos. So you can download YouTube videos with YouTube Premium. You can do that like through the actual YouTube app. I have YouTube Premium with how much YouTube content I consume. I download videos for later. You can listen to the audio almost as if it's a podcast with your screen off in your pocket while I'm mowing the lawn, snow blowing the driveway. But there are other services out there where you just put the URL in of the YouTube video and you can rip the audio. Unfortunately, it's not like the optimal way to listen, but hopefully that'll work for the less than 50 people that were regularly listening that way. We're just not going to continue updating that. The added effort, I was forgetting from time to time. The internet's slow, so it's just not gonna happen. But yeah, let me see. Let me get caught up in chat. I wanted to hit that one because I did see that, and I've had a few people ask, but like I think I've had 3 of the 30 or maybe 40 people who are regularly doing it. But yeah, as I said, for anyone just popping in, I see we're up a little bit higher than when we started. There's a link in the description. If you want to see all 41 binders, the complete video, literally every card I bought is in those videos. If you want to see anything up close and personal, if you want to see like, hey, I collect Gundam, can I see those binders? Hey, I collect Metabots, can I see that binder? Like, that's all I'm going to do today. All I'm going to do today is kind of go through some of the heaters that I pulled out for Dragon Ball and Naruto. And then I'm going to go through and like just show off binders. If you want to teach me some, like, hey, grab that Metabots binder. Oh, page 3, the middle card, that one is this or that. Like, I'm here to entertain and also partially to learn because I'm learning things as I go. I'll talk about some of the things that I've learned. Literally, before I was before I was offered this collection, I knew almost nothing about any of these cards. A lot of people might say like, hey, 25,000 on stuff you know nothing about. That's kind of crazy. I am a little crazy. I am a gambler. But I bought the Pokemon collection and I saw how good it was overall. Very, very minty. A lot of gradable stuff. So I was pretty sure that a lot of this would be gradable as well. That's all the Dragon Ball Super, like the, what do they call them? That's I guess I'll go over. Like in the bottom right, you've got SCR, you've got RLR, SPR. Fairly common, like in Pokemon, you go to the bottom right, you've got the rarity symbol, you've got the set number. Fairly common theme with different card games. Common thing is along the bottom, you'll get maybe the set. That's what these numbers are, the BT2-123 SCR. I love the card games that have a number. Like that's one thing I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Each Yu-Gi-Oh! Card right around here in the bottom right of like the art box, or at least most of them, they will have like a 6 to maybe 9-digit code that you can just search in eBay and you can pull up what expansion, what card that is. That makes it so much easier to look these things up and not have to look up the name, not have to guess what the set is. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! I think is actually better than Pokemon in that respect, because if you type in 20 out of 165, or I'm thinking MetaZoo right now, but if you type in 20 out of 165, well, UFO had 165 cards and Seance had 165 cards. So that could be like a few different cards in the franchise. That could come up with a few different things. But as far as I understand, you still have differences like half hollow, full hollow. You have some variants that can have the same code, but overall that gives you a pretty good general idea of what you're looking at. Here's some Dragon Ball Z score. Kind of a super is like the modern, score is the vintage, and the way that these work, I've been told, in the top right, you have stars. And I believe there are some cards out there that have 7 stars. 6 stars though is kind of like an ultra rare. Think like EX, GX, VMAX, something along those lines. And then when if you have a 7th star, that might be like an alternate R, even higher tier. These are not perfect analogies, but yeah, Dragon Ball Super, definitely a lot of value here. Sorry, Dragon Ball Score, I've found. Let me, Gambler Gang, let me get caught up on the chat. I put out a little bit more eye candy that people can check out. But yeah, I'll just keep saying it periodically. Link in the description if you want to look at the videos. Nat Mesh says the YuYu Hakusho looking fire. I did show off some of these cards. I showed off some on Pokeflips the other night, and I showed off a little bit on a different stream, I think. Partially, though, part of the reason that I also was able to buy this collection and have a pretty decent idea that the value was there. Shout out to, I don't want to miss anybody, but Swami. Shout out to a handful of the Spicy Boys. Swami, Retrospecs, Kai, Ernesto, Charvy. I'm gonna end up missing somebody, but I sent some of these videos around to people that I knew. Shout out Pokemon Radar. I had Jake. You might have just saw a lag there. My OBS just told me that I disconnected. I'm turning the Wi-Fi off on my phone, so I hopefully don't kill it. But let me catch up in chat. This sounds nuts. Yeah, the collection is absolutely insane. Similar to the Pokemon, it's from the same person. Unfortunate story. I believe that the original owner, the original collector who put it all together, passed away. But yeah, how did you go about getting a value for all these? You don't go through 17,000 cards and make a spreadsheet and value every individual one. It's kind of like a feel thing. You look at these hitters from the videos, you look at these hitters, you don't know condition. You don't know condition on everything. You just start roughly ballparking it. You see, okay, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. You find 10 or 20, and I don't think I necessarily found 25K. I don't think I found 30K before I purchased it. But quickly, you find 10, 15, 20K, and you look at the differences between raw and graded. And you just start estimating. I mean, some of these I've got Power Rangers binders. Some of the Power Rangers cards sell for a few bucks a piece. Maybe I've got binders that are worth $100, $50. It's a lot of estimation. It's honestly more estimation and more feel than many would be comfortable with spending that much money. But again, I did have some context. I had some context that the Pokemon was very legit. And so having that like context really made it easier too. Did you check Naruto for alt arts? Mason Camp, you will probably be a good resource. I'll get through these Dragon Ball Z cards. I don't know how to check Naruto for alt arts. So if you're still in here, let me know. The thing that I was told about Naruto is that you look on the bottom for 3 dots. So similar to, as I mentioned, Dragon Ball has this little circle up here. I should mention too, foils are a big thing. So each of these cards, there are like less desirable variants that are non-foil, but these ones that you see in the card savers are all foils. And in the bottom right, if it has a Japanese symbol in that circle, that means it's limited. Some of these are promos. I did see someone say that these are promos. The promos are automatically all going to have the limited symbol inside of them. So a promo being limited is kind of redundant. It's almost like saying first edition base, shadowless. It's a redundant thing because they're all limited, all first edition base, aside from a champ, before someone says that, are limited. But like here's an unlimited foil because it doesn't have the symbol there. Here's a limited foil because it has a symbol. Here's another limited foil. Limited versus unlimited. Think unlimited versus first edition, essentially, is what it amounts to. So a decent amount of these, I don't know if you were looking as I went through, a decent amount are limited, but not all of them. Some of them are unlimited. And I will say, shout out Kai. Kai was a very valuable resource for the Dragon Ball, especially. I hope I don't say it incorrectly, but when you look at like my Gohan Ascendant, it has a number. When you look at my Gohan Ascendant, it is number 138. So that is like the set Gohan Ascendant. It is the unlimited foil. So I have a Gohan Ascendant from the set, unlimited foil. When you look at a card like my Super Saiyan Goku, it's a UR6. So it's a limited foil UR6. And the way that he described it to me, it's a GKI reprint. So GKI was some sort of tournament that they had for Dragon Ball. And each of these cards, it was like a special set released promotional for that tournament. So these are GKI reprints if they have the UR and then a number. Some people say they're less desirable. Some people say they're less valuable. I think they're almost a variant. Like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy to Pokemon because most people in here are probably primarily Pokemon like myself. A decent analogy might be like fourth print, because a lot of people don't know what it is. A lot of people don't understand. Some people don't care. Some people just want the art. But fourth print is, I don't know that anyone would deny that fourth print is more scarce. And that's the way that I understand this. I apologize to Kai if I'm taking that out of context or understanding it incorrectly. But yeah, the GKI reprint would be more niche. It might be more scarce as fourth print is. But value, some people might pay a slight premium. Generally speaking, most people just don't care. I think maybe fourth print isn't the greatest one because a lot of people would probably buy fourth print as if it was based on limited. No one would really value it less. But I think there is a large portion of the hobby that just wants the set one, the limited set one, not the GKI print. They want their full set, all their numbers to match, to have the full run of the set. So more niche. Some people care to have all the variants, just like in Pokemon. Some people go fourth print, shadowless, unlimited, all the languages, whatever it may be. Whereas some people just want like, I want the easiest way to go about completing the set. Anyways, that's me stumbling through some Dragon Ball. Let me go back full screen. I'm gonna try to catch up on chat, and I'm gonna try to see what Mason is teaching me. Okay, Mason said he's gonna look through the videos later, but Basic says no Metazu, I'm out. Appreciate you, Kanto Adventures from Denmark. Sango Anda's here for Dragon Ball. So you just saw a bunch of Dragon Ball. I can definitely show you more if you're interested. Pokemon DNA says, if you're talking about Naruto and specifically avoiding Pokemon, you know everyone watching are the real ones. Yeah, absolutely. My Metazu videos don't do nearly as well as my Pokemon. I'm sure this video won't do nearly as well as my Pokemon live streams, but it's part of my business. This YouTube, it follows my business, so that's what I'm doing here. Japanese Dragon Ball cards way undervalued. I do have some Japanese Dragon Ball. I also have some Miracle Battle Card Ass that Kai and some of my other experts that I've tapped into on these cards weren't as familiar with. So I'm really interested to see if some of my viewers reach out like, hey, I checked out your video. I'm interested in this binder. I'm interested in these cards. Or like, hey, these cards have a bunch of value. Michael loves DBS cards. I wish more people talked about them. I think they're kind of underrated. Gundam is an undervalued IP IMO. You should look into the 2 DBS God Rares out right now if you haven't already. They're like $2,000 a piece raw. Yeah, so Joe Cartwright is saying exactly what he probably posted this before I said it, but some of my ultra rare foils are actually the GKI versions, not the set versions, and that's what I was going over a little bit. The UR versus the normal set number. 7-star rare promos, I think. Uncharted territory here for me with these IPs, very much for myself. So just wanted to hop in and say, hey, yeah, I'm learning through Yeah, IP, intellectual property, different different TCGs, basically TCGs, CCGs. Um, are the cards not being graded going to be put on eBay? Probably some amount of them will. Some amount of them I'm gonna look into consigning options. I am not an expert in all these. Not only am I not an expert, but I also don't have the time. There's a lot of binders, as far as I know, where I have a lot of $2 to $10 cards. In Pokemon, I sell those through Troll and Toad Evo. In Yu-Gi-Oh, I can sell those through Troll and Toad Evo. Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Score. Troll and Toad has a little bit of that listed, but I don't think they're doing it anymore through Evo. I need to reach out to them and see if they'll process some of this, but I'm going to grade with BGS some, CGC some, PSA some, everything that is worth grading. But yeah, Naruto, when we get to it, we'll get to it fairly shortly. But there's a lot of cards that are $20 to $200 seemingly raw. $20 cards I can justify. $20 plus, sub 10 it's hard. In Pokemon and MetaZoo, I might list $1 to $10 promos or singles. If I have 50 of a card, I can make a listing and sell 50, all for the work of making the one listing. But if I have one-off Naruto card or Dragon Ball Super card that's worth $5, I make one listing. All the time I devote to that, packing, fulfilling, that's all for one listing. So it doesn't scale as well. If I'm only selling a one-off card, it needs to be worth more than if I'm selling like 50 items through the same listing. So I don't know exactly what the limit will be on that, but there definitely will be a bunch of raw Naruto cards, probably some raw Dragon Ball Score, Dragon Ball Super cards in my eBay. The whole collection was 17,000 cards, 41 binders, $25,000. Mason says, alt arts are probably 2,500 each minimum if you have any. I'll look through the vids later on. What is Naruto? Some anime that I've never watched. But I have a lot of so Dayflosion, if you look, I have it open somewhere. So Metabots. Oh, Metabots might be one. So I title all the videos with what's in them. Metabots was one of the ones that like didn't have its own exclusive binder. So Metabots is one that unfortunately I didn't put in the title of the video. I might have it written down. Let me lay out some Naruto cards quick, and then I'll go around the corner. I don't want to just ghost. But so these were the less valuable ones, very different. One thing interesting I found in Naruto, and I don't know if it's different blocks or if it's different sets, whatever it may be, but these have like a much golder vibe to them. They just have like a gold background. They have a very distinctly different look from a lot of my Naruto cards. Let me see if I can make this higher. I can't really make it higher because it's kind of broken. But a lot of my Naruto, there's like two distinct different styles. And somebody let me know in the comments or in the chat if you know why these ones are so like gold looking. Are they from a different set? Are they from a different block entirely? But like a lot of the earlier binders, they had this different part, not really a different layout. They just had a different complete color scheme and feel to them. So, and then you have some that were like the black and gold, almost like those Zacian and Zamazenta. But yeah, like the difference of the left and the right, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to go look and see if I can see what binder the Metabots are in. Because I think I wrote it on the binder, just not on the video. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm going to try to not completely ghost. But yeah, I didn't Metabots. Looking through literally 41 binders stacked. Well, not stacked. They're all in like boxes with the spine up. Cards don't get bindered in. I forget where the Metabots was though, and it looks like I didn't label it. There's some final. There's some. Oh, there's Metabots. So Metabots, it's in this binder. One thing that was funny about the collection, the guy, let me show it on this screen. The guy, like, some of them were waifu type, and I probably can't show them on YouTube. but the guy like printed out and taped to the front of every binder something related, kind of related to what's in them. Sometimes he had a Yu-Gi-Oh cover and then it was like WoW cards inside it. He must have switched binders over. But yeah, like this one has Dinosaur King cards, and it also has Metabots. So the one that's labeled Dino King, for anyone who wants to check out the Metabots, Taflosion, it will be in the video labeled 1287-Dino King. At the front of it, you'll have these dinosaur cards. I can't wait to show my son some of these. I haven't yet shown him them, but he's big into dinosaurs. Probably no value. Probably no value whatsoever if I had to guess. But I'm excited to show him. Yeah, like I have no idea anything about Metabots, but I guess I'll just show it right on stream since I have this binder out handy now. If you see in the description, if you see any stuff that interests you and you want to see the binder itself, just shout it out and I'll go grab the binder and we can check it out, because that's all I'm really looking to do today is just hang out, maybe learn some things and see what I've got going on in this collection. So not the absolute easiest to show a full binder with how I have the camera set up right now. Slimeal, you've got Kantaroth. Kantaroth's got a nice, I know in Yu-Gi-Oh, when they have a foil name, that means generally they're more rare than not having a foil name. Similar amongst all these card games, the shinier and fancier looking it is, generally the more likely it's going to be value. Not guaranteed that it's going to be valuable or the most valuable, but more likely. So like on this page, my mind goes right to Metabots and more specifically Kantaroth because he has a gold foil name. And again, for anyone unaware, I don't know if Metabots has like a bunch of different backs. I that is one thing I saw with Dragon Ball. Super has a separate back, and then Dragon Ball Score has a back. Secret Battle Cardass has a different back. Again, this one thing among this collection too that I found, this guy, he put all the most valuable cards in the middle. So all those cards I pulled out, all the signature Dragon Ball cards, all the secret rares, a lot of the limited foil Dragon Ball Score, he put them in the middle. So thankfully, they're way less likely to have binder dings. I do not recommend you store collections as this person did in these kinds of binders. Some of the videos are a little scary because the way that he was flipping pages so quickly, he probably binder dinged more cards than originally were. But it is what it is. I've got them now. When I lift and turn the pages, like these ones feel like the more valuable. Only one set in English. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I know nothing about Metabots. There's probably very few people who care or know anything about them. But to me, it's like, it's really cool to buy this collector's collection and just like, clearly this person was passionate about cardboard in general. They had a lot of stuff going on, and to learn a little bit about it, like there's a really fancy looking one. White Sword. I haven't eBay searched these at all yet. Some of these different TCGs I've eBay searched and there's not like any listings whatsoever. Completely dead CCGs, TCGs. Some of them have markets around them. Some of them don't at all. I need to be a little bit careful just blindly flipping through the binder because, okay, these are all fine. Some of the binders definitely have a little bit of like, I don't know if it's Weiss or if it's, what was one of them called? Queen's Blade. Some of the waifus are very borderline not safe for like family content, not safe for YouTube. I need to make sure I don't just randomly go into those, but yeah, like there's some HeroClix cards apparently. We're back into some more dinosaurs, more Dinosaur King. So he had Dinosaur King at the front and back, and then just randomly like Metabots in the middle for whatever reason. So yeah, there's a little bit of Metabots for Taflosion, who had asked about them. And again, Taflosion, they're in, you want to see them better, they're in binder, which one was it? 1287, called Dino King. I'm going to actually rename it right now. Dino King plus Metabots. So yeah, here's our Naruto, and I'm gonna try to learn a little bit of this as I go, literally during this video. Obviously, one thing we have in Pokemon is that we have sets. We have like you look at a Pokemon card. I'm not gonna grab one. I don't even have one. I cleared everything off. But I know the symbol for Unseen Forces. I know the symbol for Heart Gold Soul Silver. I know the symbol for. I don't know all the symbols for the Sword and Shield sets, but Jungle, Fossil, Rocket. I'm assuming a lot of these card games, Dragon Ball, with Yu-Gi-Oh, with Dragon Ball, a lot of them are in the set name. A lot of them are in the code for the card. So some of those are easier in some ways, I guess, because like DDS, Dark Dual Stories, I think, or whatever it may be, LOB, Legend of Blue Eyes. I wonder if Naruto, like, there's a symbol next to the number. Like this one's number 480 with some fancy symbol next to it. This one's number 296 with some symbol next to it. They're both from 2002. So they're unlikely. This one actually says on the top right. This one says on the top right from Ultimate Ninja Heroes 3. But most cards don't say that. Most cards don't have something up there. So it's just interesting. It's interesting like how every different card is formatted. This one actually next to the three dots, it says first edition. I don't know if you can make that out, but this one doesn't say it next to it. So some of these say first edition next to the three dots. Some of them don't. It'll be interesting to find out if there's a big value differentiation. Obviously, in Pokemon there is. You've got some of the low popping people. You got some of the low pop people who care about more unlimited, more so. Zach, Gem Mint Pokemon, he just got his unlimited Ampharos that he needed for the past couple years to complete his collection. I think he paid more than like that card goes for in first edition. So it'll be really interesting as I go through these cards to learn like I probably won't even I'm not going to become an expert by any means on these cards. I don't think, but just to learn a little bit about them. Learn enough to be dangerous, probably. Learn enough to be able to sell them. I obviously want to optimize what I get out of them. But yeah, let me catch up in the chat a little bit better. Mr. Walrus asks, how liquid are Naruto cards? Very variable in the ones that I looked at. And maybe it's because I'm looking at some first edition ones. Maybe it's because I'm looking at some like obviously the most liquid thing in Pokemon is Ultra Modern. I think the next most liquid thing in Pokemon is some of the more vintage sets, like base Unlimited Charizard. That is liquid. Moonbreon, that is liquid. When you get into the Heart Gold Soul Silver, when you get into some of the really obscure promos, less and less liquid, the more niche that you get. You can still have a lot of value, but less and less liquid. Some of these cards I looked up, like I would look up Pain 1619, basically just the name and the number, same way I would with Pokemon. And not this one specifically because I'm just guessing here. Like I don't remember if I looked this one up or not. Some of them would have 20 listed and 10 sales. Some of them would have 1 listed and 2 or 3 sales. Some of them would have none listed, no sales. So I think I probably have a fairly good spread on nicheness and liquidity in all of these card games, but certainly they're going to be way more niche, way less liquid and just, I guess, liquidity. I'm trying to think of like volume of sales, and which is just liquidity. They're going to be way less liquid overall than what I deal with in Pokemon, generally speaking. There might be some standout promos. There might be some standout cards that are like really big hitters that are more liquid. They might be surprisingly liquid. But yeah, let me check. Going through Weiss, I can go through some Weiss. If you see a specific binder in Weiss that you want me to go through from the link in the description, let me know. I think I have like 6 Weiss binders. Or no, maybe it's just 1. I was thinking Vanguard. I have like 6 different Vanguard binders. I think I only have 1 Weiss. I'll double check and check it out. Make sure it's like semi-safe for work. We don't want me getting demonetized. We don't want people getting their bosses looking over their shoulders, getting them in trouble at work, certainly. But I think Weiss is one of the ones with a little bit of waifu action. So I can show that if you'd like, as long as it's not too bad. But yeah, I did see a question that I wanted to grab. Where'd it go? Joe Cartwright says, based off what you paid a card, sounds like you did really well. You need to be careful with that, because like a lot of these cards that I'm showing you right now, some of them all the way down to $5, but some of them all the way up to like, there's a couple of Naruto cards in here that are like $500 in sold listings, not just ask listings. You need to be careful though, because like if you see $10 card, $20 card, $50 card, it takes quite a few cards to get to 25,000 that I paid. And there's 17,000 cards. There are at least, I'm sure, 15,000 cards worth less than $1. And you can't just say like, okay, 15,000 cards are worth $1 and then 2,000 cards are worth like $5 plus. You can't really do that, because like to sell a $1 card, one, it might have no liquidity whatsoever. It might be $1 on eBay. Maybe there was one sold listing. No one might buy mine if I list it. Plus, listing it and fulfilling it, that takes time. If I go to a binder, I take pictures, I list it, I learn what it is enough to list it, price it, all that. It probably takes me 5+ minutes per card. I can probably only do like 12 cards an hour. I can't do 12 cards an hour to make a 20-cent net. I would be making $2 or $3 an hour. So a lot of that, even though they might be $1 cards, I would be way further off bulking them out to somebody for 10, 20 cents a piece by the binder. And once oh, there's my YuYu Hakusho. Sorry, I guess I went into YuYu Hakusho accidentally. But we'll save that for later. But yeah, like you need to be careful. Oh, there's 17,000 cards. Let me just pay $2 a piece. It's worth $34,000, because to sell a $20 card, if I can list 10 cards an hour and fulfill, counting all my time for packing, shipping, all that stuff, $20 cards, I mean clearing $15 a piece after shipping, after all that, that makes more sense, because that's like $150 an hour. Not that I'm net clear profiting because I paid something for these, but that would be like the rate at which I could extract money. So yeah, the way that I'm going to go through this though, start with the big hitters, get them graded, get them sold, hopefully a couple $1,000 sales, a few $100 sales. I have sold one card out of the 17,000 so far. I sold actually to a friend. I don't know if he wants it mentioned. He might show it on his YouTube channel or something at some point, but Kai says low popping. Yeah, when I said low popping, that's actually the name. It's actually the name of a middleman in Europe somewhere. But yeah, the Naruto cards are pretty crazy. Almost some of these I pulled out were 2 dots, but almost all of them were 3 dot cards that are like the ultra rares. And I know Mason Camp was in here earlier. I don't know if I have alternate arts. It would surprise me if I had cards in here that were worth 2,500, but I did see a couple that had sold for like 500. When I get to that card, I think I'll recognize it when I see it, but when I get to that card, I'll show it and I'll look closer at it to see like if it'll grade. One thing with Naruto, it seems like nobody's grading them yet. It really seems like no one's grading them at all. So maybe I'll be the first guy to grade some of these cards. It'll be interesting to see. One thing I don't want to do though, I don't want to spend $10,000 on grading fees and then find out that no one buys graded Naruto. I'm definitely going to ease into it. I'm going to like grade maybe 50 to 100 and see what happens. And yeah, we'll have to like take it slow, get it figured out. I did see a question I wanted to touch on once I get through this stack. You see right there, you see like the black and gold. And does anyone know, were these both like pack pullable? Is one a promo variant? Is the black and gold one just like a promo thing? I'm not entirely sure, but many times in the binder, that's one thing too. If you're looking at the videos linked in the description, a lot of times this would be the front card and I'd pull out 2 or 3 of the same card, or I'd pull out this one and the black and gold one. So when you look through, I said every card was shown. Not every card was shown, because some of them I have 3 or 4 of. Some of them I have variants of behind it. There were times with the Dragon Ball score where I would have a limited foil on the front, and then the unlimited foil would be behind it. Or it would be like a limited foil, and then a different limited foil behind it. Like 17,000 cards. The person putting the binder together probably made some mistakes here and there. So there would be times where like cards were buried behind ones that didn't line up with them. Looks like we got a bot in the chat, which I just snagged. Um, where to go? Hips and Ships says, glad I made this live. I'm a huge DBS DBZ Weiss cardboard collector. Did I hear Beetleborgs? I don't think I have Beetleborgs. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, Hips and Ships. I do have some Digimon in here somewhere. I saw a question. Okay, that's the question I was looking for from Mr. Walrus. You may have covered it, but was this purely an inventory purchase, or are you looking to build interest and pursue more TCGs? So I've mentioned it before, but Pokemon is all I grew up with. Pokemon is all I have nostalgia for. Nostalgia to me trumps all else. Like Metazoo, I'm enjoying. Metazoo, I got into a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'm enjoying it, but like I'll never enjoy it as much as Pokemon because it doesn't hit my nostalgia. Through doing this, I might pick up a penchant for Dragon Ball Super. I might pick up a love for Dragon Ball Score. I think it's unlikely, mainly because I have no nostalgic tie. Naruto, I've never watched. Maybe I'll start, like, honestly, with all the Naruto I just bought, one thing I was intending to doing in the coming weeks was to check out some of the first episodes of Naruto. I've never watched an anime really, aside from Pokemon. So I might try to branch out not only my business, but I guess to quickly answer your question before I go on too long of a thing, purely inventory. But who knows what it might turn into? Who knows? I bought all this Naruto. I might download or watch Naruto. I don't even know. I don't know if it's on Netflix or where to find it. I might end up Crunchyroll is a place I've heard of for anime. I don't know if that has Naruto. I guess someone let me know. Let me know where I can watch season 1, episode 1 of Naruto. Where's the best place? But maybe I fall in love with it. Maybe I fall in love with Naruto. Maybe I end up collecting a bunch of these cards. If I do, I will do it in a way as I do with Pokemon. I will do it more as an inventory thing. I will optimize to make money to do it for free. Swami says, watch Naruto at least through to Rock Lee versus Gaara. Yeah, I'm definitely open to like checking it out because growing up, I never got into Magic. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched some different TV shows, but none related to like card games. So it'll be interesting to check out Naruto. Maybe I'll check out, I've heard YuYu Hakusho. I have some of the cards for that too. Not as many, but I've heard that's a really good anime. I've literally never watched an anime aside from if you count Pokemon. So yeah, who knows? It purely an inventory purchase, but maybe it'll turn into more. Dayflosion Dino binder, yeah, it's in the Dino King binder. Um Naruto isn't super liquid from my experience, but it's mainly because the older sets are super redundant in comparison to the first few sets. Poke Department Store asked, gonna get into Digimon. I was never into it when I was younger. I doubt that I'd get into Digimon, but again, who knows? Like maybe I fall in love with some of these things. You say Booyah says 1296. I can go. Let me go grab 1296 and check it out. See if it's safe enough for work. I think Weiss is one of the waifu I am. I don't. So I have all the binders labeled, but you can imagine it's 41 binders. Don't have them in order. I should have put them in order before I start the stream because then I can find them quicker. A great part of my. Hopefully, you guys can hear me reasonably well when I'm across the room. Oh, there it is. So the reason this is one of the few binders, basically what I was doing, I was writing on the spine of the binder the number. This is one of the few binders I did not write on because it's actually like a really cool binder. I have no idea if this binder has value, but they put their Weiss in a Dragon Ball Heroes binder. Like I didn't want to write on this spine Weiss. I should just put a sticky note over it so that I don't forget. But yeah, let me check and make sure it's all fine. Yeah, there's nothing like too crazy here. So little bit of waifu action, but it's not like super explicit or anything. So we'll show it off. This is the Weiss. Let me get rid of the comment there. So no idea. Again, the collector was smart in that they put a lot of the big hitters in the middle. This one is hollow. None of the other ones are hollow. So the only hollow one on the page is in the middle, which I like to see. If any card on this page is going to have value, it's more likely to be that one, I'd presume. So on the card, it says it's a key, Eris. It's a CH, similar to Yu-Gi-Oh, similar to Dragon Ball Super. It has like a code there. So I'll have to look that one up on eBay. But yeah, you say booyah. Let me know if any of this stuff like has much value. I genuinely have no idea. I'll have to go again. The way that I saw it about this collection was to just start where the primary value was. And then look, you have like on the back side, apparently they put some like Dragon Ball cards on the back and then whatever that card is. So a little bit of like randomness, but yeah, a lot of times the hollow card is going to be in the middle slot. There's another hollow one in the top middle. A lot of times with Pokemon and with the non-Pokemon too, they were doing like pages of the same character. These all look like Lucy. Yeah, so these all look like Lucy to me. This is a Lucy page. Oh yeah, I should show the back too, because again, Pokemon has like one back primarily. In Japanese, you have old back and you have new back, but in Pokemon English, you just have the one back generally. This is the back though. It says Bushy Road, all rights reserved. Weiss Schwarz. I know like DBZ, DBS. I have a lot of different backs for Dragon Ball. So there's the back in case that's of any interest or value. There's not many pages. This is a pretty small binder, so I have no idea. Again, we got some male characters in there. Get some equal representation in case anyone. I don't know what the waifu equivalent name is for the dudes, but you got some shirtless dudes in there. To be fair, for all viewers. Yeah, interesting cards though. Like I appreciate cardboard. I appreciate so much in going through these binders. I appreciate so much how much of a passion this collector clearly had for these cards. And it's just like fascinating how many cards they accumulated. I broke my camera mount and I accidentally just bumped it, so hopefully that doesn't fall on me. But yeah, I can appreciate their appreciation. Interesting binder. Like this binder has like a flap at the top, apparently to like keep dust out, to keep the cards from falling out. But I've never seen binder pages like that where they have a flap. Kind of interesting, kind of annoying when I go to take all these cards out. It's going to just make it that much longer to take them out. But I will say getting binders shipped in the mail is one of the most stressful things you can do when you buy a collection of cards. This seller did an amazing job packing them up. They taped all the binders shut. They put down in the middle, so that's the whole binder. Down in the middle, they put a bunch of bubble wrap like inside of the rings. And they like taped the pages over so that the pages couldn't slide into the rings. It was really well done. It was really well packaged. Again, this is like the fancy looking binder that the Weiss is in for whatever reason. But yeah, there's the Weiss. Let me catch up on the chat. Let me see. Let me see if I have any news on those Weiss cards. Mr. Pokey Dragon says, "Don't let the wife see." So, I actually showed her a bunch of them. I wanted to show her before she saw and thought I was hiding them from her. I'm like, "Hey, check these out." But yeah, some of the most explicit things are actually the pages that were printed out to be put on top of the binders. And yeah, I don't want to show some of them on YouTube for sure. I'd be grading the DBS signatures. PSA 9 still selling more than raw. I'll absolutely be grading. Generally speaking, similar to Pokemon, I would say this collection is 85+% packed to page. So I say packed to page because I don't want to, like, they're all packed fresh, but they're not near mint to mint. Like Dragon Ball Score, especially. Dragon Ball Score is like worse than mid-era Pokemon from the little bit that I've seen and the little bit that I know as of now. I'm going to go through some more Naruto 3 dots as I talk, just to show something. But yeah, Dragon Ball Score, really, really terrible print quality on a lot of this stuff. Dragon Ball Super, generally good, but all my signature cards are not going to get PSA 9+. I think there's a couple in there that look like PSA 8. trying to optimize, do I send a PSA? Do I send a BGS? It's going to be a tough thing. I'm not going to do it like actively on this stream because I use a different light. I have a different light that I like bring over, high intensity light that I look at my cards for pre-grading. Right now my room light is off. My lights are set up for streaming. Not the easiest. I'm blinded by this one on my screen, so I can't really see the cards that well, but off stream, I'm going to have to optimize. Like, here's my PSA pile. Here's my BGS pile. I know black labels are a huge thing. I don't know that I have any black label quality cards in here, but like, if it will 10, send it to PSA. But if it like is super 10, then maybe you send it to BGS to get the black label. Obviously, I'm not going to like go crazy trying to optimize every last cent out of it and just analysis paralysis, do nothing with it. I need to get cards moving. But a little bit, I'll make a consideration. Some of these cards might have a BGS 10 pristine premium over a PSA 10, but others don't at all. Similar thing in Pokemon. Sometimes, look at base set Charizard first edition. There's a massive BGS 10 premium, but broadly speaking, aside from like Charizard, aside from big hitter cards, most cards don't have much of a BGS 10 premium, if at all. So I'm going to need to look into the same things a little bit with all these franchises, but things like Naruto, I don't think PSA is doing them at all. I might push them a little bit to see if I can get them to start grading, but first pass will probably be a lot of BGS with the Naruto because they're actively grading them already. As I said though, like not a lot of Naruto is graded. There was another comment that I wanted to grab. I'm looking at the live chat and I'm doing the highlighted chat. Mr. Walrus, very big consideration. Sending these to BGS is also a pain. Hours spent per submission, diminish hourly returns. Absolutely. A big consideration in the optimization of this collection is not getting every penny out of every card. Because at some point, as I said, I could literally photograph 34,000 photographs, front and back of every card. I could list every card on my eBay. But if I do that with a $1 card, a $2 card, I'm getting 10, 20 times more than if I bulk out a binder for 10 cents a card, but it's not worth it if it like the amount of time. If my effective hourly rate is $5 an hour, I'm better off just chucking the whole binder as a bulk collection. That out of the 41 binders, 30 of them maybe are probably going to be sold as binders. Maybe I go through and I pull out the best 10, 20 cards and then sell the rest. Like there are going to be some binders in here that I sell for, I mean, I'm not going to give stuff away. I'm not going to just blindly sell a binder. Hey, number 1286, it's like 1286 says it's power card and spawn. If someone offers me $20 for that, I'm not going to just blindly do it and risk the fact that there might be like a card in there alone that's worth 100. So yeah, I have a decent amount of space. I don't want to, like, I'm a hoarder. I've mentioned it many times. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I can just add this onto the pile to some extent. But it's also a balance between like diminishing returns and all that. So there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of considerations. Let me, Mason Camp says the YuYu Hakusho King set is probably 500 at least. Naruto alt arts only have 20 of each in existence. Oh yeah, I probably don't have any then. Is it boring just buying things you know will do well? This is exciting to me. Like, honestly, I bought this because it's out of my wheelhouse. I'm pretty sure it will do well. But yeah, a lot of people would say, like, why don't you just stay in your lane? You could probably do better in Pokemon. To me, it's like, it's exciting to learn different things. I'm gonna try watching a new show. Maybe I'll hate it. Maybe I'll wish I never bought all this. Ask me in 6 months or a year. Maybe I'll say, like, yeah, that binder was a bag. Like, that binder collection was a bag. Why did I buy it all? But as of right now, I'm still at the point where I'm like excited about it. I still am learning a lot of things about it. It's a lot of work. I have a lot of work to do. I've sold one card to a friend for $200 out of the $25,000 buy. And I've already spent, counting the time to like figure out if I'm buying it or not, pulling all these cards were in binders. And I pulled them all out. I've spent north of 10 hours that have paid me almost nothing. So at the end of it, all in retrospect, I might look back and I might say, yeah, that wasn't worth it at all. That was stupid. Who knows? I took a shot and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to learn a little bit along the way. Maybe I'll learn to not buy any non-Pokemon. I don't know where I don't know where the big Naruto cards went. Maybe I went by them and I just didn't recognize them. Somewhere in here though, there were definitely sold listings for like 500 bucks. I might have put them in card savers already. I've probably already started losing some of these cards from this collection, but maybe they're in this one. Here's more Dragon Ball Super. There's Dragon Ball GT as well. Yeah, I don't know. I already lost. I guess I already lost my best Naruto cards, but I'll try to find them. um, let me catch up on chat, and then find out where to go next. Yeah, all my wrenches in here, just letting those bots go wild, and I gotta take care of them myself. Watch Naruto. Let me make a note of that before I lose it. So watch Naruto at least. I don't know how many seasons or episodes that is, but I'll give it a try. Watch Naruto to Rock Lee versus Gaara. Akatsuki arc of Naruto is great. Rock Lee versus Gaara is legendary. Gate of Pain. Skip the 800 filler episodes. Now that you're going to watch anime, you're basically saying that next CC, the next Collecticon, you'll be in cosplay. Yeah, we'll see. Gonna cosplay Cho from Naruto. I don't know who that is, but Naruto is a good anime to have as your first anime. Crunchyroll account for $8 or whatever is worth for a couple months. I believe that binder, oh, the Weiss binder, was from the Dragon Ball Heroes 10th anniversary special. It's a cool looking binder. Swami says, these look like old Weiss. If it is, the hit were much harder back in the day. Have you looked up any of these? I've not looked up any of the Weiss whatsoever. I mean, while we're here, I'm literally just hanging out for the next hour and a half. I'm going to go till 4:30. I've got like no real goals, just to show off stuff. If people want to look at anything in particular, as I said, link in the description to all the videos. If you want to see a binder in particular, I'll go grab it and we can look through it. But let me pull up eBay right now. As I said, let me sleeve it just in case it's something. Let me look up this first card. I'm going to look up this one right here. Sorry, I have to take it off screen. I don't really want to share the eBay because I am logged in. But I'm going to look up the code first and see if I find it that way. It is an SR. But yeah, it's called... But I found it. It's $5.99. $5.99 for a foil. So this is an example of a card. I have no idea what the liquidity is. That's the list price. So whether or not it actually sells, let me check sold listings. I see 0 sold. So I see 4 listed, anywhere between $5 and $10. This is a card that would not be worthwhile to list for me, because by the time I photograph it front and back and I go and I list it, it's a few minutes. It's a few minutes to do photo front back. When I sell Pokemon, I do sell similar. Like if I'm selling a Jungle Vileplume, there's a decent chance I have a Jungle card in my store already. I have a store category for Pokemon cards. I have to go and I have to create a store category for Weiss. I have to go and I have to sell similar from a Pokemon card, and then I need to change it from Pokemon CCG or TCG to Weiss, and then I need to go through, this is English language, so that would be the same, but I need to figure out if this has a set, like too many things that I have to do to make it worthwhile to probably not sell one card for $4. So yeah, like a card like that, at first glance, there's actually the non-foil behind it. If that's the most valuable in the entire binder, let me look up one more just to check. Let me look up one that looks pretty shiny. Like this one has a different foil variant going on. So let me look up this one and see if there's anything there. It's got like, I don't know what that thing is. Is that a snowman? A penguin? Or I don't know what that thing is, but let me look this one up. This is the process though. Like to some extent, this is the process. This is a very tedious process for things that I know little about. But every one that I do, like if I pick Naruto to go deep into, it will become quicker. The 50th card I list in Naruto will be significantly quicker. Oh wow. I don't know if so there's one listed. This one there's one listed. Listed is not sold. I will check sold. There's one listed for $180. Let me see if any are sold. And this is a triple rare, so it's RRR. There's none sold. I do see, not this one, but I see some other RRRs sold for 20, 50 bucks. Let me look up just Weiss RRR. $67, $50, $6, $44. So there might be something here. Like there's only one listed. It's listed for 180. Maybe this gets graded. Maybe I sell it raw for 50 bucks. I have no idea. But like this one, now I know more about Weiss than I did. I already learned a couple things. I can go, the next thing that I would look up like Weiss rarity tiers, because this one was an SR. This first one that I looked up was an SR, and this one is an RRR. I think secret rare or super rare, and then RRR. I know some Japanese Pokemon has that. I don't know off the top of my head what that means exactly. But yeah, so there's a couple Weiss cards. There could be some value here. Let's look up one more since we found one that was maybe worth something. Let's look up this one too. And condition on these seems really nice. But let's look up Heaven's Wheel Armor Urza. Mr. Walrus says, Dan's got us all fooled. He has us watching him work and labeled it content. Absolutely. Like that's that's what this stream is. It's me, hopefully. I mean, I'm having you guys watch me so that maybe you can teach me a little bit. Crowdsourcing some work. This is only an RR. So if I had to guess, this one's less rare than the other one because it only has 2 Rs compared to 3. The more Rs, the better. No sold listing. And no listed either. So this one has no sold, none listed. Very, very illiquid niche stuff, if I had to guess. I'm going to sleeve it because I have it out. But yeah, like that one's just an R. It's not even on screen, but that one's just an R. I'm going to look up the rarity tiers. Like there's a U uncommon, there's a C common. The C's, the U's, the R's are likely going to be nothing. Here's another RRR. So maybe I'll look up. This will be the last one for now. This will be the last Weiss for now. I'm going to look up just because it's another RRR. And it's the same set, SO2-06. So I only had to change 3 digits because it's apparently the same set. None listed. Any sold? None listed, none sold. But it is an RRR. Maybe that's a $20 card. Maybe it's a $50 card. Maybe it's a $2 card that no one will ever buy. I have no idea. But again, this is one of the 41 binders. This is only, what is this? Maybe 100 cards. There's only like 10 or 12 pages in here. Maybe 150 cards. There's probably like 15 pages, 9 cards a page, somewhere in that vicinity. There were a couple random... Like, look at that. There's a random Dragon Ball card behind that Weiss card. Like, I have no idea if that has any value, but it's a Dragon Ball GT Japanese card. Just chilling behind the Weiss card for whatever reason. And then there were a couple more. We got another one right there. Looks pretty fancy. Same as the other one. And then we had we have a Smallville card. That's a TV show I've heard of, but I never watched. Lang Lang from Smallville. So we got that in there. All kinds of crazy stuff I'm sure I'll find. At some point, I probably won't unbinder every card in this collection, but at some point, most of them will be unbindered. I'll probably sell some binders in their entirety. Like if someone hits me up, now that I've looked up a couple things, if someone says like $200 for that Weiss binder or something like that, I might spend 2 or 3 more minutes looking at 1 or 2 cards, and I'll be like, yep, you can have it. You can have the Dragon Ball Z fancy binder with it too. I'll just ship it that way. Because for me to pull every card from that, for me to look more, I might spend an hour just with that binder to find out that I only have $20 there or $50. So yeah, at some point, diminishing returns is going to be a common theme. They didn't put as many hollows in the old Weiss sets. Mert says he can't stay busy with work, but this is a sick buy and excited to watch the stream back later. Thanks for stopping in, Mertz. Husbando, yeah. I was looking for the waifu equivalent. So not only do we have some waifus, we got some husbandos as well. Yeah, you say booyah. That was the whole Weiss binder. Literally just one binder out of the 41 had Weiss. I think maybe there's some more Weiss sprinkled in at the back of some binder randomly, kind of like how we had the Dragon Ball Z cards at that one. But I think that's the only like sole Weiss binder, and it was one of the smaller binders in the entire collection. Max enjoys learning about TCGs I never knew about. Any good resource websites or YouTube channels to learn about dead/unknown TCGs? I don't have them off the top of my head, but again, shout out to some of the spicy boys. I've been given many websites that I favorited. Maybe I'm not supposed to even share all of them, but I don't have them handy. There are definitely a lot of websites out there. That are good resources. Each, like Bulbapedia. Think Bulbapedia. Not all of these card games will benefit from having something as nice and as thorough as Bulbapedia, but they're all Bulbapedia equivalents for a lot of these. So I know I've been told like you should join this Facebook group for Gundam. You should do this. Like I put these videos out publicly today in the description, but I put some of them out privately over the past couple of weeks since I've bought it. And I have had a lot of people reach out. There's just so much. There's so much work to do with this collection. Oak. Appreciate you, Oak. Buttering me up for the waifus. Your average player, we've just been going through Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. We've been going through all different kinds of stuff. Mr. Walrus says, keep in mind, BGS doesn't autofill. On my last sub, I had to research year, set, etc, and enter myself. 33 cards took over an hour. They also charge immediately when you print the form. That's a little rough. Ian Toomey says, you said YuYu Hakusho binders. I do indeed have YuYu Hakusho binders. I guess there was not a ton of it. There was more than there was Weiss. Why don't I just show you the hitters? I did go through YuYu Hakusho. Shout out, I believe who was in stream? Kai and Retrospecs. Check out Retrospecs on YouTube. He has his own channel. Kai does not have his own channel, but he's been on mine before. So yeah, here were the hitters that I pulled out of the YuYu Hakusho binders. Different kinds of foiling, different kinds of card layouts, just like really, really cool to see all the different stuff that's out there. But yeah, like very different kinds of foil. There's just like a flat foil, these, I don't know what you'd call them, but they probably have official names. Let me show the back too. There's the back for the YuYu Hakusho Ghost Files. An anime, again, another anime that I've heard multiple people talk about and recommend, but I've never watched any animes, so I've not seen it. But yeah, that's all I took out. There's probably 10 times this amount of cards in the entire YuYu Hakusho binders, but I went through, like in Naruto, I pulled out all the 3 dots. What was it for YuYu Hakusho? Let me see if I can remember. I don't think I was going by anything like that specifically. I think it was more the foils, and then the people that I was having in the call with me, Retro and Kai, were saying like, oh, Yusuke, that's a popular character, pull him out. So some of them I was pulling out for the characters. Some of them were just being pulled out because they were foil. I don't know how to say that, Haie or something. But yeah, it kind of like Pokemon, kind of like every other. I mean, look at Yu-Gi-Oh! All the reprints they do, Dark Magician Girl, Legend of Blue, or not Legend of Blue Eyes, but Blue Eyes White Dragon. If you grade, even if they're reprints, look at Celebration's Charizard, look at Evolution's Charizard. If you grade the big hitters, Retro says put it in plastic, someone will buy it. If you put like the high demand characters in high grade, even if the cards are $1 a piece, $2 a piece, people will pay a premium to get them graded in high grade generally. Yeah. Kai says he spent 5 hours in this collection too. Kai actually actively, I have the opportunity to get several $100s more. And Kai, I feel a little bad. I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you yet, but he's made an offer on one of the Dragon Ball Z cards, and with all the help he's been, I'm gonna hook up people, especially who've helped me a ton. Shout out Swami too. Swami went through and made a spreadsheet. He watched all the videos. I hope he watched them on like 2x or something, but he made like a first pass spreadsheet of videos with like, hey, this is what's in it. It seems like junk. Hey, there's a lot of money in this binder. Check them out. So I really appreciate all the homies helping me out. And if and when the homies need a hookup on a card, definitely going to give them a homie price on it. So I got to get Kai a price on that card for sure. Nostalgic Pokemon Memories, spent 5 days on a collection purchase, paid $1,800 for, but one card paid for everything. Unfortunately, I don't think I have one card in here that's going to pay me 25K, but I think I have several that are 1,000 or higher, so I need to get those graded and get those flipped. But Joe Cartwright says, I don't know a ton about the Japanese Gundam sets, but I know a couple of the English cards you have are decent. Some could sell for 5 to 25 and one for 50 to 100. Really cool. Like, because when I bought this, Gundam like wasn't much of a consideration. It was primarily Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is nice because I can do it through Troll and Toad Evo. But yeah, any of the Weiss, any of the Vanguard, any of that stuff, the supplemental stuff having value, that's just like cherry on top, hopefully. Swami says there was no 2-time option, but it was fun. Yeah, I downloaded all the videos, and in VLC Media Player, you can actually watch at like 2x. So I was watching some of them at 2x, but I think Swami was watching it through the I've hosted these things in my own drive now. These are in my Catch 'em All Collectibles drive folder on Google, but originally they were hosted. I didn't want to dox the name of the original guy that I purchased them from, so I think Swami saw it through the iCloud links originally, and there wasn't any 2x in there. Ian Toomey says YuYu Hakusho was his favorite anime of all time. Might have to snag that off of me. At what price point does a pack become too expensive to open for you? The experience isn't worth the price point. I didn't open it myself personally, but I had opened for me a Beta Magic pack that I paid 6K for. And I bought first edition, Shadowless, and Base Unlimited Unweighed pack in the Pokemon Saves the World event last year in Vegas. I paid 10K to open those three, so I probably wouldn't do that again. Neither the 10K nor the 6K, but it was an experience, so. Guy says, do you ever hop in a sleeping bag and pretend you're a sleeved card? I have not. It's been years since I've gone camping and slept in a sleeping bag, but I guarantee you next time I do, I will think of this comment and I'll laugh as I hop into my sleeping bag, and I'll think I'm a sleeved card next time I do it. Mr. Walrus with the comment I mentioned earlier, I've got you all fooled. 43 people I have working for me now for free, watching me work, making the content, making the big money. A live stream like this, pulling 40 viewers for 2.5 hours. This is probably going to make me like $2, $3. So I'm making the big money right now. $1 an hour. Solid. RRR equals really, really, really rare. Wouldn't that be 4 R's then? Maybe just really, really rare. Pretty sure SR is greater than RRR. I don't even know for Japanese Pokemon what they are exactly. I should know better, but I'm starting to do a little bit more Japanese set cards here and there. But Nostalgic Pokemon Memory says they have a 25K collection for me to buy. Hit me up if you do, because I'm buying collections. Swami says RRR was 1 per box in Marvel, I believe, with 1 in 3 boxes for secret rares. Weiss Rarity. So hips and ships. I don't know if this is off the dome knowing this, or if this is Googled, but it goes from R to RR to RRR to SR to SP, and then some sets have unique rarities. Rock, Uno, and Charvy are my guys for this binder. I did not do Yu-Gi-Oh! I did look at some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Myself. With the Yu-Gi-Oh! I found a lot of it was reprints. Not surprising for anyone who knows Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. But there were a lot of cards that were selling for 5 to 10 raw mint that were selling for like 100 plus graded. And mine appear to be like mint, if not gem mint. So some of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be graded. Anything that looks PSA 9 or less, basically, I'm only going to grade it if it's tenable. I'm going to try to grade only 10s. I'll get some 8s. I might get some 6s. I might get a couple, not like, I'm going to get some sub 10s, but I'm going to try to grade only 10s. And then Troll and Toad Evo, the rest of it, basically. Swami says old Weiss. Definitely look it up because some of the older Weiss is valuable just because it's the rarest. Fairy Tale Weiss is pretty hard to find. Max, 10 minutes ago, asking if I can say RRR one more time. I've said it about 20 more times since he commented that, so you're welcome. Can you say matey after? Let me try to get caught up. Is Dan a pirate? Let me try to get caught up in chat. Oh, there we go. Thrifty. It's Gaifu. I like that. That's better than husbando. So waifus and gaifus. Oh yeah, sorry. Kai does have a channel. Search up Kai Oak Bacon and go check out his videos. He doesn't post much, but he does have a channel. Swami wants all these. I'm almost caught up, I think. Nesto killed it with a thumbnail. Yeah, shout out Ernesto as my thumbnail guy. Yeah. Hips and ships. He was talking to me with that comment, not you. Let me see. I'm only a couple minutes behind now. This community's goated. Don't forget to hit the like. Kai sent me a good offer and told me what this card was, but someone offered $200 more. Sorry, Kai. No, I definitely don't want to do that at all. With one that was offered on otherwise, it was easier. When you like the card that Kai offered on, the low list was like 2K. I think there were no the card that someone offered 200 on, it was only 250 low list. So like I think mine was in better condition, but there was a number out there that kind of pinned the ceiling. Whereas the one that's pinning the ceiling on the other card, it's a fair bit higher. I definitely got to hit up Kai though and get, well, I mean, he's listening right now, but I got to get that card sorted this weekend and get the price figured out for Kai. Is the YuYu going on eBay or can I shoot you a DM on Discord to buy all of it? You can definitely shoot me a DM. There's a video, again, linked in the description. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Let me find the number for you. Where did I put it? So the YuYu Hakusho binder, it's tied in with Gundam. So it's video 1297 SD Gundam plus YuYu Hakusho. So go check out video 1297. If you have a number on the whole binder, I do know Swami mentioned he's interested in some of the YuYu Hakusho, and I know Retrospecs also has interest potentially in some of the YuYu Hakusho. So I don't know that I'm gonna like sell it out from under some of the people who helped me a bunch, but if you shoot me a number and I tell them and they say like, oh yeah, sell it, I mean, absolutely I could. So yeah, you're gonna ruin my lowball if you keep bringing it up. Fayflosion says jokes on Dan. I'm also working at the same time getting free content. That's the thing. I'm here making $1 an hour. Some people are out there making $100 an hour. They make $200K a year at their full-time job. They're watching this, getting paid. So they're effectively making $100 an hour watching me making $1 an hour. So they're the real ones winning, for sure. Do we get paid in Moonbryon? If you were, you'd be the one to pay out because you've got all the Moonbryons, Ancient Mew. I don't have any. This is BS. We should unionize. So yeah, I'm fully caught up in the live chat. Let me find something. Joe Cartwright sent me a message on Discord about the Gundam. I've definitely gotten multiple DMs from people looking at buying whole binders, and I apologize if I'm slow getting back because we're going into Thanksgiving next week. Very quickly, we're going to be at Christmas, New Year's. I've got so many of these Dragon Ball and Naruto cards I need to learn and figure out and get graded. So expect me to be slow and don't hate me if I'm slow. I will try to get back to everybody before I sell anything. So like, if I have 5 people messaging me about YuYu Hakusho, I'm not going to just say like, hey, the first one, like, and then I'm not going to just sell it to the first one and then say to the next 4 people, oh, sorry, too late, it's sold. I'll try to, I mean, selfishly, partially, if a bidding war can start, if people want to sell it, if people want to buy it and pay more than someone else, like I'm a businessman, I'm going to sell it to the person who wants to pay the most. But Yeah, not like, I hate when people list things for sale without a price. And honestly, like, hypocritically a little bit, I'm doing that right now. I'm saying that all this stuff is going to be for sale. I'm posting videos of binders that I don't have numbers on. But this is very much like an atypical. This is a learning process. I don't know on a lot of this stuff, and once I become informed, then I mean, maybe I'll literally just have this same drive link, throw up numbers on binders. Like, hey, if you want this, maybe I'll take a new video after I pick the cards out that I'm keeping. And then, hey, if you want this binder, it's 50. If you want this binder, it's 500. Who knows exactly how I'm going to end up sorting all this out. But Zard Hunter, I'm definitely going to grade some of the score DBZ for sure. Go get a Bidoof sitting cutie and add it to the shelf, please. I might have a Bidoof somewhere. I need to look through my totes. But yeah, let me go back to the camera. What do we want to see next? Does anyone have a request? Does anyone have a request for a specific binder they want to see? I'm going to be hanging out for a little more than an hour. I am a little concerned with what I did with those Naruto hitters. There were some big ones that Swami pointed out had sold for like hundreds, and I don't know where I put them. They gotta be somewhere. They're definitely somewhere. I just don't know where that somewhere is. Do you mind showing what DBS you have? Retro says YuYu Hakusho. So I showed the YuYu Hakusho very quickly a little bit ago, but I'll go through it quickly again. These are all the cards that Retrospecs helped me pull out from the YuYu Hakusho binder. So let me lay the YuYu Hakusho there while I go and grab something. Retro wants me to pump the YuYu Hakusho because I think he owns a bunch. New Quaxley merch dropped on Pokemon Center. I'm gonna have to go shopping after the stream. Do you mind showing what DBS you have? So yeah, if you look, it is video 1384. It's the final video in the folder, I believe, is all the DBS. That binder, I heavily stripped it. So I pulled a lot of stuff out of that binder already. I don't think I'll show the binder, but what I'll do, like I already showed, I don't know if you were here, but for the DBS, hips and ships, these were the big hitters. These were like the big signature cards. What do they call them? SCR, RLR. These are some of like the big god rares, secret rares, whatever you want to call them. I did pull out like 500 additional cards maybe. Nowhere near the caliber of those ones, but like here's an SPR. Like, I don't know why I pulled this one out, but like this one's a common. One thing with Dragon Ball Super is every card just crazy looking, because this is a C, which I'm assuming would be a common. It's probably worth almost nothing, but like that card looks really fancy for being a common. But yeah, there's just like so many. The old card shop wants to see the Force of Will card. The Force of Will card on the center of the first page, not safe for work to show on stream, maybe worth grading if it gets a C or CGC 9 or better. So old card shop, if you want to see the Force of Will card, go to the link in the description. And it's video... Where is it? Where's Force of Will? I can't find... Oh, there we go. Force of Will waifus. Oh, but it's something else. So it's Buddy Fight at the start of the binder. So it's video 1273. But yeah, like a lot of these cards, like this one's not hollow, I guess. So they're definitely not all hollow. But so many of these cards, like Vegeta, a lot of these I know are pretty popular characters, but some of them are just like some of them are secret rares. That's only a rare. That's an EX. I have no idea what the values of these ones are. I know the biggest hitters. These ones I didn't even sleeve yet. The biggest hitters were the ones I pulled out, the signatures. I think I got all the signatures, but like I definitely could have missed something. I need to make sure I didn't miss anything crazy in here. Like there's an SR. I probably should. I'm not going to do it on stream right now, but at some point I should go through and just make piles of like SPR, SR. I guess I could just do it now. Maybe I just do that now. Like there's a SPRC, SR. That one doesn't even have a real number. SR. I don't know. I'm going to be so slow in doing this, at least off the bat. There's a UC. I need to put it in some kind of an order, like common, uncommon, rare, with the better stuff on top. Leave the non-hollows to the side. There's some random thing. But like EX I'll put there. SR. That's a non-hollow. We got a rare. We got an SR. Like, this is definitely going to be tedious and take a while, and I literally have 500 cards that I pulled from the Dragon Ball binders. Let's see. Did you get a discount since he didn't have to buy sleeves? Yeah, none of these were sleeved. They were all just packed to page. I guess it would have been 30K, maybe 40K if he sleeved them all. God Rare Pikachu has entered the chat. Don't show the Japanese DBZ Dan, just ship it to Giovanni. Giovanni in Australia. Set 1 to 9 reverse foils are very rare. Sets past 9, you get a foil or foil rare per pack. Also sets 1 to 9, you get a foil rare per pack. 1 to 3 regular foil pattern. 3 to 9 shadow foil. So where do I tell the set number? Like BT10, is that set 10? SD11, like TB1. Is TB1 set 1? These are the kinds of things I'm going to have to learn. Like, I don't know if I should be sorting these by rarity. That's probably why I'm not going to waste time. I just started the sort by rarity, but I don't know if it makes more sense to sort by set or to sort by rarity, sort by set, then sort by rarity within set. But let me just finish going through these cards. Like this one says TB1, that's probably the set, and then -004 is the number in the set. So I definitely need to learn how to go about sorting these best. TB1001UC, BT5. This one's just P. I'm assuming that's promo, the non-hollow. Yellow hair equals grade. So grade anything, blue hair is grade. These are the kinds of simplifications that I need. Blue hair, grade. That's an easy rule of thumb that I can, so Vegeta with the blue hair, grade him. That's the kind of simplification that I need as a Pokemon guy. There's different numbers for theme booster boxes, then draft boxes, then standard. I have 4 open boxes of Tournament of Power DBZ I opened if anyone wants. SD12, BT5, DB1, promo. I definitely need to, there's a fair bit of value, I know, in the Dragon Ball overall, the Dragon Ball Super. And maybe Troll and Toad Evo will do this. I'll have to hit them up. If they'll do this, that makes it a lot easier. Grade what I want to grade. Look for pre-release stamps on the DBS cards as well. Where would the pre-release stamps be? Retro and Kai, if you guys want to call in, feel free. I'll have to get... I'm going to go for another hour. So yeah, I could have someone call in if they wanted. But I'll have to get the Discord set up, but I've done that many times live on the go. Those will give you a nice premium right above the name of the card. So it would be above the name of the card. Like this one says leader back, unison. Most of the name of the cards are at the top. Some of the name of the cards are in the middle. Oh, Retro's doing homework. On the front middle right side of the card. Yeah, like these are the intricacies that I need to learn before I go. But let me just find like a random like ST. I have two of this card. Let me look up this card just out of curiosity. I'll leave one on screen while I take the other one off screen to look it up. So we're looking up this card in particular to see if we made money. It's an ST. I don't know exactly what ST means. So DBS rarities. Let's look up that too. But yeah, this is an SD11-03 ST. Like this card is listed near mint for $5 up to 20. So 5 to 20 any sales. This has sales at 5. Graded by Get Graded 10. A Get Graded 10 of this sold for $38. So if I grade it with CGC or PSA, it could probably sell for like 50, I would guess, if a basement grading company sold for 40, if not more. But yeah, I mean, $5 still. $5, that's a hard price point. If I have a lot of cards from the same set and I can do sell similar, and rattle through them, $5 like might make sense. Especially I have two of them, so there's one listing where I can get 2 cards. I might have a ton of others from the same set, but $5, like that's 2 cards for $10. I paid on average $1.50 a card. Like it's a good thing to see. Whether or not my best route would probably be, instead of selling these for $5 a piece, finding 500 $5 cards worth 2,500 total and finding a buyer for like $1,200 who does Dragon Ball Super, who does the singles, who can add them to their inventory, like leaving a lot of meat on the bone for them to make money, but also like just moving them on to someone who's an expert and can handle them quicker, more efficiently. Definitely going to be some amount of that going on. Wish this dude had Kingdom Hearts cards. That would have been sick. Yeah, he had a lot of stuff, but he certainly didn't have everything. Like here's an SPR. Let's look up this Ultra Instinct Sign Son Goku. BT3-033 SPR. I really love the code. Like I don't have to type in Ultra Instinct Sign Son Goku and then worry, is it the wrong set? Is it the wrong, like this card right here? So this card right here in PSA 10, $140 to $200. Like that's money. That's when I, like, given what I paid for the whole collection, given what I've got into it, that is a card that needs to be graded. I don't know what 9s go for. Maybe 9s just drop off a cliff. Like here's an 8 listed for 50. Raw cards are listed around 50. I think the quality is high on these though. Like I don't even see PSA 9s being sold, probably because they all just grade 10. But like I'll look at the 10 rate for this. BT3, I'll figure out what the set is. And I was given the rule earlier. Blue hair grade, yellow hair grade, retro. Retro, are you, like, what are you doing to me? This guy has black hair, and you told me that didn't fall in the rules, and this is a $200 10. I gotta question my teacher now. I gotta question my teacher since he didn't say this one to grade. But yeah, this looks like a 10. This looks like absolute like a 10. Selling it $200 for a PSA 10, 150. Even if it's $100 for a PSA 10, that's huge to extract that out. And that's an SP rare SPR from BT3. So like what is BT3? SPR BT3 for Dragon Ball Super. Explosive Spirit Gun DBS Series 3. Let me look up DBS Series 3. Wait, so what does Ultra Instinct is one step past blue hair? You also grade. So we grade blue, we grade yellow, and we also grade Ultra Instinct. Series 3 Crossworlds. So Crossworlds is the set, seems like. Does that sound right? Vegeta can't go Ultra Instinct yet. I don't think, though, he just goes to blue hair. So the hair is the power level. Let me see. I don't have anybody in the DMs wanting to call in. But let me see if I can find another couple random ones like SPR. I don't know why I have so many non-holos in here too. Like this one looks really fancy. It's a promo though. It's a PR. Let me look up the promo one just to see. So I'm gonna look up that one because it looks really fancy. It's almost got like the shattered foil type thing. But this one is P-094 PR. That one's really quick and easy to look up. Accidentally typed 9 though. $2. So this card is $2 raw, but $60 in a PSA 10. That's gonna be some of the issue. Like I say it as if it's an issue. It's a good issue to have, I guess. But there's so much of this stuff, just like Pokemon. Like there are cards that I sell raw mint through Troll and Toad Evo, especially, that I could spend 10 to 15 grading them, and they could go up by $50. I don't do it with every one though. Like time is a limiting factor. But finding the right buyer to just, like, this is a $2 card raw. If you buy it on eBay, it's a little bit more of a risk. But if someone wants to buy $2 to $10 DBS cards that are going to be like gem minty, pack fresh, and they want to buy them at like 50% value for thousands of dollars of them, and then they want to do their part and grade cards and make a bunch of money, that's absolutely a relationship that I want to like create to win-win. I move a bunch of cards, I get closer to getting my 25K back, and you make a bunch of money grading and flipping. So there's definitely going to be, like, this one looks really fancy. Son Goku, Dawn of Divinity. I want to look up that one. BT8 109 SPR. BT8 109 SPR. That card right there, PSA 10, it's listed for 80. Raw, it's selling for 30. Like, there's a lot of value in this DBS for sure. PSA 9 sold for 25. I obviously, you'd rather sell for 25 raw than pay money, grade it, and sell it for $25. So I'm really only going to want to grade this stuff if it tens. Very similar to ultra modern Pokemon, very similar to a lot of stuff in vintage Pokemon even, or mid-era Pokemon. Stonkers if you hit the 10. The thing about DBS, as far as I understand, it's going to be way easier to hit those 10s. Let's get Swami Retro and Kai. For score, hit up Wolfie Collects Best I've Seen. I'm super far behind, but if no one answered your question about the Naruto card colors, the goldish cards are jutsu cards. Ninjas, silverish cards can use in combat. Let me see. We love to see it. Black and gold hair, we also grade. DNA is trying to learn with me. DBS gets an easy 10 with PSA. Definitely, like right now, $18 is open for TCG. I'm not going to get too crazy, but my goal for next week, it's a very short week with the holiday. I want to get at least a 50 card submission sent to PSA and at least a 50 card submission sent to BGS. Between the signature cards, between some of the DBZ score, a little bit of Naruto, and then this Dragon Ball Super. So I want to get like the first, it's going to be 2 or 3 months out probably, but I want to get, I need Dan to stop giving out my plays. Dan just needs to watch DB Super. It would save a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, maybe I start watching Naruto. Maybe I start watching DB Super as like, I mean, the $8 a month Crunchyroll subscription, I would need to verify with my accountant, but that should be expensible. That's research. That should be a write-off. That's the good thing about being in business and this stuff. DBS is a must-watch if you're getting into anime. I wonder how, like, passive, like, I consume so much Pokemon content, way too much Pokemon content. If I just put it, like, I have a TV over there on my other wall. If I just put it on and passively watch it, Will that be valuable to me? Will I pick up enough? Will I be like way too not productive at work having that stuff on in the background? That's a little bit of a concern I need to watch out for. But yeah, more non-hollows. That one looks pretty fancy. That's the thing. Like some of these look so fancy and so good, and then they're an uncommon. There's a DPR. Let me look up the DPR. DB1096 DPR. DP1096 DPR. But yeah, maybe for the next few weeks, instead of passively listening to YouTube content, or at least not the full time, maybe a couple hours a day, just have Naruto or DBS on. Or was it DB1? Oh yeah, it's DB1, not DP1. That card right there. Not much there, I guess. Someone has it listed for PSA Judge. I don't know why that one says Judge on the listing. Maybe that's it's a Judge promo. It looks like it has a special stamp. It's a Judge promo. I don't think I don't think there's much there. Judge stamped raw is $12. I think that card's like $2 or $3 because it's not the Judge one. Yeah, it does have a special logo with a stamp, so I'll have to keep an eye out for those Judge stamps too. DBS is good, but I recommend watching original DBZ first, or you won't get a lot of what's happening. Keep a lookout for foil flakes and fingerprints on the back, very common for DBS. Is there a whatnot seller that sells DBS? Hopefully someone answers that in the chat, because they are someone. I've recently done a few whatnot consignments with Pokemon. If there's a Naruto whatnot seller, if there's a DBS, DBZ whatnot seller, they are people that I definitely want to, if I could just do consignments, I chuck them on a bunch of stuff, the non-gradable stuff, or even some of the graded when it comes back. If I could just do like that one looks pretty good. If I could do 20 or 30% commission paid to them, encompassing the fees and all that, and they do all the work and I get the money, that could be a mutually beneficial relationship. BT1031 SPR. Yeah, like this card right here, it's listed played for 100. It's listed BGS 9.5 for 500, PSA 9 for 300. Let's see if it's sold. This card right here, PSA 8 for 150, BGS 9 for 100, PSA 10 for 400. There's a PSA 10 for 400 that's sold. And to me, like, it's got some scratches on the back. It's probably a PSA 9. It doesn't look like it was played, but it's just in a little bit poorer condition, like maybe from being in the binder too long or whatever. But like, to me, this card doesn't stand out. Like with Pokemon, alt arts stand out when you're going through a binder. Gold stars stand out. Hollows, I guess similarly though, like if you're going through a Pokemon collection, mid-era Diamond and Pearl hollows versus like an unlimited, there are definitely instances where a card could be $500 in Pokemon that looks just like a $5 card. So I guess this is a similar instance to that. Common, uncommon, promo, secret rare. But yeah, there's, I mean, if I need to spend a couple days, mostly those SPRs are seemingly to be the best ones. So sorting by set and or sorting by like SPR, I'll have to see. Malicious Machinations, great set, cool name. Rock Pokemon will be interested in the Weiss. Thanks for stopping in. Promo's a box topper from Universal Onslaught, 1K plus box. Malicious Machinations. Watch Dragon Ball. Naruto is better. Oh, don't watch Dragon Ball. Naruto is better. Spend time there. At least Dragon Ball Super is a good dub. I definitely can't do subtitles if I'm watching this passively at work. Like, I don't think my wife, we are actually looking for a new show to watch. We've been playing board games lately on some of our date nights, but at some point we do want to get back into a show. And I know a lot of these Brawly cards were pretty decent in the score. I don't know how they are in Super, but yeah, like here's more SPRs. I don't know if she'll want to watch an anime with me. Maybe I'll get her to try Naruto. It will need to be dubbed though, like especially if I'm listening passively at work, watching passively at work. I can't have subtitles obviously, but my wife and I even if I'm watching with like full focus, I won't want subtitles. I'm not a big fan. I would definitely need an English dub. This one looks pretty fancy. This one's an ISR. So I have two of them and it's an ISR and it looks fancy, so I'm gonna look it up because it's something different. BT7 dash 126 ISR. See, this one looks like crazy fancy and it's like $4. But in a PSA 10, best offer accepted 100, best offer $63. So $63 in a PSA 10 and it's like $3 raw, $5 raw. Just like in Pokemon, there are plays. There are clearly plays to put cards in plastic and make a bunch of money. It's kind of silly how overvalued some of the 10s are, not just in Pokemon, clearly in other things too. Sorry if I'm blowing up people's plays. Naruto has so much filler. I think you'd get sucked into it. It's really good. Let me see. Then I have a very small eBay, but 20 to 30% I'd sort and sell for you DBS wise. Definitely, I mean, yeah, I might end up creating some relationships. Consignment wise could definitely pan out. So feel free to hit me up. We're going into the weekend. I'm going to run this right till 4:30 probably. I probably won't answer you till like Monday. Maybe I'll answer at some point over the weekend. I do have a little bit of work to do one of the evenings of this weekend. But yeah, feel free to DM me about any of this. If there's things you're after, if there's things you want to offer on, I definitely just be patient with me. It's a holiday next week, getting into the holiday season. I'm going to be slow getting back to people probably. First SPR ever from set 1 Galactic Battle. Any good TV show recommendations? Our most recent watches, we watched Peaky Blinders was really good. We watched trying to think like in order of recency, what did we watch? Like we watched The Office together multiple times. There's a lot of like older shows that we watched that we really liked. For me personally, like I love Dexter and I love Breaking Bad. I watch those without her. She has some shows she watches. I have some shows I watch. Ozark we watched together before we watched Peaky Blinders. We really liked that one. I have such a bad memory. Like I would need to think longer. I would need to. I'm sure some will periodically come to me that we've watched pretty recently, but I'll just spit them out when I think of them. But yeah, so many crazy cards here. It's wild. It's wild how some of these cards look, and then they're like commons. They're just like all this fancy craziness, all this shiny stuff, and like Pokemon doesn't really have that. Pokemon doesn't get so wild with commons and uncommons. Like I know Brawly, there were some score ones that were worth quite a bit. I should probably look up one of these, find like an SPR Brawly. There's an SR. Here's an SPR. Brawly Limits Transcended. So BT6060. SPR. Yeah, 50 raw. Oh, it's a little off screen. So 50 raw. There's only a few listed, so maybe it's fairly niche. But 200 plus in PSA 10 looks like. PSA 9 $50. So you only want to grade it if it's a 10, it looks like, because raw is 50, PSA 9 is 50, and PSA 10 is hundreds. So I'm gonna wanna send out like a 50 card feeler to get an idea of pre-grading. But these cards, this card looks clean. That card looks very, very clean. Is that the same? No, that's a different card. Definitely a lot of grading to be done though. I actually, for anyone who watches my MetaZoo videos, maybe not very many people in here currently, But I'm gonna do a send off video and a return video. I recorded it before this live stream. Oh, now we're getting back into DBS, or sorry, DBZ score. For anyone that wasn't around at the beginning, foil, limited, the more stars it has in this circle, the more rare it is, all the way up to like 6 stars is the general rare one, but then it goes like 7 stars for some really, really rare ones, and certain promos like this Gotenks and Gotenks Super Saiyan are both 7 stars. They're like promotional ones though. Really cool thing. Like, real as a card guy, not so much a DBZ guy, I can appreciate these backs though. Like, here's the normal back for DBS score, for DBZ score. Sorry, I say DBS. The hollow backs are so cool. Pokemon actually has a couple cards that have hollow backs, old back Japanese. Really, really cool card though. Super thick, super, super thick. Like, this will get a thicker slab if I end up grading it. But the hollow back is like beautiful. Look at that. Just as a card guy, I can definitely appreciate some of the beauty of this stuff though. Even though I don't have tied any tie nostalgically to these cards, it's just cool. I wish Dan was as bullish on One Piece as he was on DBS. I don't own any One Piece. Funny, I own a little bit of One Piece. I don't think it's in yet, but I did buy some, like, I bought something One Piece because I heard people talking about it, and I bought a little bit through my distributor. Kind of like I did with Final Fantasy TCG years ago. I knew a lot of people liked Final Fantasy, so I just ordered some. I have some like here's. Let me see if I can get it done without breaking anything. So here's super dusty. Here's like an Opus 2 box. Like, I have Opus 1 through Opus 6, I think. I was buying a little bit. I don't know why. I just bought it, put it back, hoarded it. Oh. Retro says, put the score away. Don't spill the beans. Let me go back to a Brawly card, Brawly DBS. We only want to show DBS. Swami says, if she likes Disney, start her out with Studio Ghibli movies. It is Japan's Disney and is the best gateway drug. I've heard SM Pratt talk a little bit about Studio Ghibli. I've heard about it elsewhere as well, but I've heard him mention it a few times. Keenan says, why so stingy on date night board games? Take her out, LOL. We have 2 kids, so I don't know if you have kids or not, but when you have kids, if you ever have kids, I'm talking post 9 p.m. tonight. Like, we could ship them off to my parents. Their grandparents, my parents, love to have them overnight, but like, my wife doesn't like to chuck them out for overnights too often. She still gets pretty sad and misses them. But yeah, we have 2 kids, 4 and 2 years old. So our date nights usually consist of door dashing something, or like watching a movie, watching some Netflix, playing some board games at home when the kids are sleeping. So like, not really like out on the town. Occasionally we do. Occasionally every other month or so, maybe once a month. The pandemic was weird, obviously. But we're mostly out of that, not entirely. But maybe it will become a once a month thing that they stay over at my parents or her parents, and then we like go out in the town and do stuff. But yeah, most times when you're married with kids, date night is like making some popcorn at home on the stove, watching a movie, or playing some board games. Yeah, your average player backing me up. I have children and I live in the woods. Appreciate you, Ancient Mew. Peaky Blinders was awesome. Lord of the Rings I've never watched. I've watched part of. I actually have some Star Wars cards in this collection too. There's some old school numbered Star Wars cards, which was pretty interesting. I looked some of them up. Jake actually told me from Pokenomics. He told me that some of them years ago were worth like a couple hundred. I looked up some that were worth like $20 now. Probably no liquidity whatsoever. So it's interesting to see decade plus old serialized cards being worth very, very little and having no liquidity. Makes me wonder 10, 20 years from now what today's serialized cards will be worth, if anything. But you have some DBZ Panini mixed with the score. Yeah, some of the binders, there was some GT mixed in with the regular score, and then there was also some Panini. It was, the binders were a bit messy with certain things, but Retro asks, how much do you want for the Opus 1 boxes? I don't know. I'm 90% sure mine are not first print. I think they're the more common one. I believe I actually bought them from Rusty. I bought them from Rusty's eBay store, I think, because I missed Opus 1 through my distributor. I picked those up on eBay through Rusty. I believe they were Wave 2. And then I picked up Opus 2 through 6 or 7 directly through my distributor. So the backs aren't foil on all of them. When I showed, I forget if it was Kai. I think Kai said that he didn't realize some of the backs were hollow, or maybe it was retro. But like these two specifically are hollow. So these two cards are hollow. I did have several examples though. Let me see if I can find one. Let me put away the score before I get in trouble again. Or wait, these are scores. So I guess I am gonna get in trouble. But like here's two more. Here's two more that look similar, have a similar feel, thicker card. There's three more actually that don't have the hollow back. So I don't know if all of these cards come in a variant that is both hollow back or reverse hollow back. Um I guess they are different. They're distinctly different looking cards because this one has the score just in regular ink. This one has the score in foil over here. These ones, like, they have a different layout style. I'm pretty sure there were some with this layout style that did not have the hollow back, but like both of them are the thick cards, some with hollow back, some with not. Pretty cool. Swami says the one he has a hollow back. He didn't know they came non-hollow. The hollow Shenron is sick. Um, but yeah, like really cool to I definitely need to watch. I need to give Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. I need to watch at least a few episodes of all of them in the coming weeks. Date night is honey, can you sort my bulk? Yeah. I talked about some of the shows that we've watched recently. I don't know if we have any board game aficionados in the chat, but two big recommendations for me for two-player board games. Oh, the name is escaping me right now. Race for the Galaxy is one of them. It's like a very interesting, like, we don't play Monopoly, we don't play Sorry. The kind of games that I played growing up, I loved board games and I played a lot of them growing up. We used to have a family game night. Like, I can't wait until my kids are old enough to do like a family game night. But one thing that I did years ago, because my wife and I had interest in board games, I looked up like boardgamegeek.com and I looked up like what are some actual really good board games. Monopoly, a lot of those games are like very luck based. Life I used to play when I was growing up. Sorry, Trouble. I'm gonna miss a million games that I used to love to play, but a lot of them are like super luck based, not very strategy, not very great. There are great games out there though. Like if you expand beyond what you can find in Walmart, if you go into your LGS, Cardinal Gaming, I've never heard Mason talk about them, but he probably carries a lot of them. A lot of the more like indie board games, I guess you'd call them. Race for the Galaxy is a lot of fun, but my favorite that we have played so far is Seven Wonders Duel. There's a Seven Wonders that's made for like more people. Seven Wonders Duel, I think you can play, maybe it's only two player. Race for the Galaxy you can play with up to four, I believe, but Seven Wonders Duel is a really, really fun game. The way that it works, it's like it's almost like if anyone played Age of Empires, you almost need to build a city. So you build a city with cards, and certain ones are like resources. Kind of like in Age of Empires, you could go out and you could get the animals, and you could build a farm plot, and you could go fishing. You could get the meat, you could get the wood, you could get the gold, the stone. Similar things in this card game. So you're building like an Age of Empires civilization, and you can win in three different paths. You can win by military domination, or you can win by scientific revolution, or whatever they call it, scientific discovery, and then you can win by just victory points, or they're called victory points in Race for the Galaxy. But anyway, this is turning into like a Seven Wonders. I need sponsorships. I need to get sponsorships at some point. This is turning into a Seven Wonders duel. I love that game though. It's so much fun. So much more fun. And it's like a 30-minute time to play it approximately. It can be quicker if you have a quick military victory or something. But Super, super fun. Yeah. Let me let me catch up. If you haven't seen Mad Men, do yourself a favor. I actually have the entire series of Mad Men. I've not watched them yet though. So I have like a library of stuff that I gathered in college. A lot of people had external hard drives, and how they were sourced, I don't want to know. But yeah, I have multiple series that I've never watched before. The entire run, every season, every episode on my external hard drive. So I'll that's been on my list. Maybe I'll move that one up the list. Retro, hit me up if you actually want to buy one. I mean, I will do a great deal relative to what they go for. I don't think they go for a ton, but I can definitely get one shipped out to you and do a great deal on it if you're interested. If it ends up being series one or something, if somehow it ends up being series one, we'll have to put a clause in there. I'm going to give you a great price, assuming that it's series two. If you somehow find out it's series one, we'll like split the profits to some extent, because if that one is, I probably have like 4 more that also would be. So yeah, hit me up and we'll sort something out for that. I can sense Dan's power level increasing with all this wanting to watch DBZ talk. Never believed my boss when he said Home Depot was date night, but the man was not wrong. Retro will cook anyone in Monopoly. The strategy is just so basic. Like these games that I'm talking about now, so much deeper level strategy, multiple ways to win. Monopoly, you just buy everything, you build up houses, hotels, and yeah, you just like people get wrecked. If you have bad luck though, you can just get destroyed and there's no coming back. Emily won't play me in board games. I cheat. I always admit it after I win, but I cheat every time. Oh man. Risk. I did play a lot of Risk back in the day. Pokemon Master Trainer original version. I never played, but I've heard that was actually a good game. Risk I actually used to play in school. I used to play chess in school too a little bit. Risk is a pretty good one. Still a lot of luck involved. Like there's luck in any game. I mean, even Pokemon, there's some amount of luck in what you draw for your hand in MetaZoo and in not World of Warcraft, Magic. There's some amount of luck in what you draw, but there's a lot of strategy that goes into deck building and learning how to pivot if you get solid cards put into your prize cards or whatever. Best content today. Dan is on fire. Get the meat, get the wood, get the gold. Oh, Swami's probably over there with 2 screens going, clipping away. Waifu cards are gateways. The booster box claws. Breaking Bad, I really, really enjoyed. Dexter is another one that I think my wife watched some of it with me, but not so much the gore type, the dark type content. Even Breaking Bad with the drugs and stuff, obviously not her cup of tea. But yeah, Breaking Bad is up there for me too. Oh no, Lord Pokesmoke, his external hard drive from college with terabytes of movies and shows finally crapped out recently. Super sad. So I probably own like 6 different uh external hard drives, and I have like a massive 6 terabyte one. I think is my biggest, 6 or 8 terabyte. That's more recent. Every time I get a new one, I spend like a weekend because you set it up to transfer, and it takes like 10 hours to transfer. So the first thing I always do, my newest one is my master backup. So I take my 2 terabyte from college and it fully gets swallowed up by my old one. And then it goes into a fire safe, or it goes into I actually have some like off-site important documents on flash drives, solid state drives, but I have multiple, like my old school one from college is a regular hard drive, like with a spinning disk hard drive. So that one's going to crap out someday, but if and when it does, it's inevitable. I have a solid state drive backup of it. So that one will just get popped in. The other one will go away. Yeah, definitely didn't pirate those videos. Just got here. What games are we talking about? We're talking about board games a little bit. We're talking about card games. We're talking about DBS, DBZ score, but Retro doesn't want me to talk about that. We're talking about Naruto. We're talking a little bit about Smallville. We're talking a little bit about, you want to see Power Rangers? Let's look at Power Rangers. Let me put some eye candy while I go get the Power Ranger binder, because that's one that like I've probably looked at the least, not surprisingly. There we go. Catan. Catan is one that I've heard about. I've not yet played, but they're what's the one called? Is it called Pandemic? It's not called Pandemic. Maybe it is. Yeah, Pandemic is actually a good game. It kind of like a sad, it makes you think sad things about like the state of the world for the past couple years. But Pandemic is actually a really fun game that we also have. That I heard good things about from friends and from Dragon Ball or from Board Game Geek. But I'll be right back with a Power Rangers binder, something fun to look through. Not that none of this stuff was fun to look through, but I was pretty big into Power Rangers when I was younger. I had the action figures, never got into the cards, but like this is what they put on for the Power Rangers cover. Let me move some of this valuable stuff out of the way. I did have some people message me and say like Power Rangers doesn't sell whatsoever, but I had some people messaging me saying like I would pay $20, $50 for like this random card, that random card, or X amount for the whole binder. AP Sports Cards just got in. Could you please start over? Um 15 minutes later. Sorry, Retro. I did not see the newer Dexter. I stopped at the end of the regular thing, Dexter New Blood. I actually have Dexter New Blood ready to go. I've just not yet watched it. Professor Oak says, my wife loves watching anything involving women killing their husbands and how they did or did not get away with it. Hopefully she's not studying, Professor Oak. That's a little concerning. But my wife has actually said something similar to me. She's like, you loved Ozark. You loved Breaking Bad. You loved Dexter. She's like, you like all these shows. Like one of my favorite movie genres is actually psychological thrillers or psychological horrors. And she's like, it's a little scary. It's a little scary how much you like stuff involving drugs and and murder and yeah, I'm like I guess I just don't do any of it in my real life, so I've got to like watch it on TV. But yeah, Oak, hopefully she's not studying. Um let me see. Let me see. So yeah, the oh, I don't have the right camera up. So Pink Power Ranger. You gotta love the Pink Power Ranger. Again, the middle card is like the hollow card. Let's look up this card. It's actually textured. Look at this card. What year is this? Power Rangers action card game. Saban's Power Ranger action card game. 2013. So this isn't that old. Let me look this up. Let me just look up Power Rangers Saban and see if there's any sold listings. Card. There's 150 sold listings. Let me sort high to low. Here's a PSA 9 sold for $100 of some random card. Oh, there's not. This is pretty ugly. There's not much going on here. For sales. Maybe I'll put the Power Rangers binder away. Here's some listed cards for like hundreds or thousands, but there's absolutely none sold. Absolutely none sold whatsoever. Let me just do a quick flip through this binder. Maybe there's some interesting looking things. Maybe not at all. Let me. Unfortunately, you can't really see the bottom row, but most of the bangers are put in the middle. Like some of these cards are cool. They're cool looking. They're different. Again, things you don't see. Dead card games. Living her murder fantasies vicariously through Netflix. Yeah, hopefully that's all it is. Hopefully it's not hopefully it's not studying. Planning. I think these are all the same format. Interesting though, like I don't know what the barcode did. I don't know if you could scan the barcode with something. Need to get the Power Ranger influencers to pump it. Yeah, we need like Power Ranger Rev to pump it. I did see some of these cards PSA graded. Maybe nah, they weren't the same. I don't see any with the barcode. What's the year? 2013, I said? Let's look up Power Rangers 2013 card. So some of these are listed. There's a lot of these listed at ComC for like $50. And there's none sold. There's none sold whatsoever. I thought there was a different style Power Rangers, but look, oh, okay, here we go. So here's a different style. So instead of they have the same back. So these ones, Power Rangers CCG, Power Rangers collectible card game from what's the year? Oh, no way. No way. Wait for this. We might have just made money. Wait for this. Guess who the artist is? Guess who the illustrator is? Who's gonna guess first in chat? There's no way. I'm gonna have to send some of these to people going to the events. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Hopefully you can. We gotta pump these. Come on. Come on. It's a Rita. Yeah. I don't know why it's not. Well, I can't get it to focus, but trust me, it's Mitsuhiro Arita. It's crazy because like I went to that card. I don't see him as the artist on a lot of these other ones. I think Arita actually shares a lot of stuff on Instagram if you tag him. I'm gonna have to post these cards tonight. Maybe not tonight. I'm gonna forget to do it tonight, but I'm gonna have to do it. It's crazy. Ernesto says Dan reading illustrators. Okay, rip hobby. I normally don't. I was trying to look for the year. I was trying to look for the year on these cards to search them on eBay, and I saw Arita, which is crazy because like I don't even see him on another one. But yeah, now I'm actually looking for more Aritas. I'm gonna have to send these. Everyone's getting their base Zard signed. Everyone's getting their Espeon signed. These are Mitsuhiro Arita. Look at that. Even the camera disapproves of this pump, Dan. It's Mitsuhiro Arita. I don't know. There could be more than one, but it says Mitsuhiro Arita. Yeah, maybe I make a YouTube short. I'll make a YouTube short next week. My favorite cards drawn by Arita, and it's gonna be like the Charizard and then something else. And then I'm just gonna randomly show this this Power Rangers. 100% that's a short next week. Here's another one. Red Ranger. Red Ranger, this one. Look at all of this. I need to pull this video down. I'm gonna pull this video down so I can go buy out Blue Ranger, Arita, Pink Ranger, Arita. So he did all these ones. Then this is a different card altogether. Cool stuff though. Like completely dead, random old stuff. It's fun. It's cool. It's different. Oop. And muted my microphone. I'm going to leave those couple cards out, though. Thankfully, I didn't have any cards over there. I don't think you heard me because I was muted, but I just spilled my drink a little bit. What did I spill it on? I spilled it on just some notes. No cards, thankfully. I just have a couple sticky notes piled over here. Brevity, I'm at the Naruto part of the video. Please make some educational Naruto content if you can, please. That's actually one thing I meant to mention. So I have a video for Metazoo going live tomorrow. Every other week, I do a Metazoo video on Saturday. I think over the next several Saturdays, the next few months worth of Saturdays, I'm going to post in the gap in between. I'm going to post a non-Pokemon non-MetaZoo video. So every Saturday, it will alternate. Like every other Saturday will be MetaZoo. But then the ones in the gap, I will do a Naruto one. I will do a Dragon Ball Z one. I will do a Power Ranger one. Not necessarily everything, but like if I can think of some interesting content to do, absolutely. Chris Rush. I didn't see any Christopher. Oh, you're guessing Christopher Rush, I'm assuming. You must be behind or something, but sounds like they just commissioned him to do their big chase card. Pumping MetaZoo now, pumping this, shaking my head. Oh man. Never Punished podcast. I'm actually gonna have a video coming out Monday talking about how the Never Punished theory is false, and Z cost me a lot of money because I thought it was guaranteed to make money. Z told me to leverage my 401k on a Wada sub, and now I sell $7 hot dogs for a living down by the river. I'm living in a van down by the river. This dude had 200,000 cards and no MetaZoo. That says it all. Oh man. So for anyone who like just recently joined, anyone who wants to check out some other videos when I'm done with this video in 10 minutes, link in the description to a folder on Google Drive, 41 videos. One video per binder in this collection that I bought. 17,000 cards. Vanguard, Weiss, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z Score, Japanese Card-ass, Battle Card-ass, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, a little bit of Pokemon, little bit, like tiny bit. It was funny. There was a couple binder pages. I did show the Weiss cards off earlier, Scott. But yeah, so many crazy things. Link in the description. I titled every video with what's in them. Digimon, Buddy Fight, Jurassic World. I can't wait to show my son some of the Jurassic World stuff. Final Fantasy, wow. Some of the binders might be titled Final Fantasy, and there might be something else at the end. Like that goes for Dino King. I had a binder titled Dino King that had Metabots at the end. So some of the really niche stuff might be labeled as something else. Like you might have to actually watch the video to see everything in it. But yeah, if anyone has any interest, link in the description, all the videos to every card I bought. Some exceptions for cards that were like double sleeved in the same section of the binder. But yeah, I this is literally going to be, I'm doing my Pokemon thing, I'm doing my MetaZoo thing throughout the winter into eternity as my job. But this is like a side winter project. $25,000 binder collection as a side winter project to try to get all this sorted out and learned. Trying to find an interesting binder to grab. If anyone has any requests, I can go grab that binder. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing crazy with the Yu-Gi-Oh! As I said. Retro's not going to want me to show any more Dragon Ball or I'll be in trouble. There's so much Vanguard. I forget what the Vanguard was. Let me take a look quick. I did get a couple people that messaged me about Vanguard. Some of it looks pretty crazy. This one binder, I have the images on the front of the binder that I don't really want to show. This one's not. So this one's not bad. So this one. But yeah, like I know nothing about Vanguard. I did have a few people message me with some interest for Vanguard. I haven't had anybody come back to me and say like, "Oh yeah, you've got this, you've got that." But yeah, here's like a safe for work cover. I think like the biggest thing as far as quantity of cards, it might be Vanguard. Vanguard is right up there. Dragon Ball Z is right up there, but Vanguard is probably next. Like there are, what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. I have a box just of 6 Vanguard binders. These are the backs, and these are the fronts. But like a little bit of waifu stuff. She's showing a little bit of leg there. safe for work though, I think. Let me look up this one. Let me look up this one and just see. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea about Vanguard whatsoever. If there's value here, it's all like cherry on top. Vanguard appears as if it has the same format as like Dragon Ball Super, where like RRR this car is. I probably said RRR 100 times in this stream. Do not take a drink every time I say that because you will not survive. No sold. There's some listed. So there's 4 listed for between $10 and $14. Like, if this is actually a $5 card, if someone specializes in this, and if someone wants to, like, there could be thousands of dollars here in these Vanguard binders. I have no idea. I don't see any of them being graded. Let me see if I can find, like, that was a triple R. Let me see if I can find like an SR, or if there's a higher, like, here's a GR. Let's look up a GR. Maybe that's better. GR sounds better than RRR. FZ01 002 EN GR. God rare, maybe? I have no idea. Yeah, like this one is listed for 30. There's only 2 listings. There's probably none sold. Like, it's listed for 30. If this was worth 10, and a lot of these were worth, like, there could be a lot of money in here. I just genuinely have no idea. No idea. Max is gonna take clips of every time I say triple R and make one video of it. Force of will busting off the page. Did I show the force of will? I forget what force of will even is. Trying to look at the titles. Did I have? I thought I did have force of will. Oh yeah, right there. Oh, the waifus. 1273. I don't think I want to show the force of will ones. I don't know where they start. Maybe I can. Let me go look. Let me go look for force of will. But yeah, like, looking up a couple of these cards, I guess the prices are high, but if there's no liquidity, it doesn't matter. If the prices are 20 and you can sell 1 per decade, it doesn't really matter. But these cards look cool. I mean, you got these robot looking things. You got these little, what are these things? They look like Tommy the Ghosty Brothers. You got some weird stuff going on. You got some waifus. You got some animal looking things. This one actually is stamped. Bushy Road Springfest. Let me look up this one. Again, great thing. Like, if I look at a binder and I don't know anything about it, very likely that he put the most valuable cards in the middle slot, which is handy. So this is a promo. ER. None sold again. It's coming up with cards that aren't this card. But yeah, this one's Bushy Road Springfest. It actually has, I think Bushy Road is the one that Mason talks about. Everything they print, they like mishandle very badly and they make it worth nothing. So maybe these are all worth nothing. But I have 6 binders. I have 6 binders like this of Card Fight. Like, here's BWC 2015. Like, some of these cards look pretty fancy. I just GLD02. Let's look up one more and then we'll go to another binder. G-LD02. So this one's actually listed, yeah, $2 it's listed for. So this is becoming too close to Shiz Reviews card games. It's funny because the card game that he reviewed, I actually got some of those sent to me as well. He did a way better, like, Demon's deck got way more value out of Josh than they got out of me. I still have them next to me somewhere. But yeah, I did not give it nearly the screen time. I did not give a very thoughtful review. I guess bring them a little more value. Demon's Deck over on Kickstarter. I'm not telling you to buy it. This is not financial advice. But Josh did a review of them. They sent them to me. I think a couple other people. You might be seeing some more videos in the meantime. I actually noticed that I have 2 of this card. So I have 2 of 100 in the world created. So I have 2% of the world supply of that sample card. If the reserve ratio is 10% and you buy a 25k Power Rangers collection, how much is M1 increased by? Retro polishing off his finance degree that he's working on. When's the next top spec? Good question, Swami. When's the next top spec? If you were open to looking at some Gundam, could you open up binder 1290? Absolutely. Let me the one with Gundam and WoW. Let me go grab that one. The 1290 Gundam and WoW. Let me sorry, I hate when I step away and show you guys nothing. So let me put some more Naruto out there for you guys. Get rid of the Dragon Ball Z. Gundam and WoW. There's for the next time I do a live stream, do another live stream, I'll definitely have these in better order so that I can binders. There it is. I have the binders numbered and labeled, but I definitely don't have them as organized as they could be. I hope this is the right one. Let me verify. Yes, this is the right one. So what do you want to see? What do you want to see exactly? Do you want, I guess I can just start by front middle card, and a lot of the binders was really, really good. On page 1, the White Wing Gundam Gold Stamp card is a good one. So it's actually sleeved. That was a thing that I saw in some of the Naruto and some of, or maybe it's not. I thought I felt a sleeve. No, I didn't feel a sleeve. So it's not sleeved. Very common thing among all this collection. Most of this stuff was not sleeved, even in Pokemon. There were $500,000 cards not sleeved. So let me look up, this is the card in particular. Let me look up this one, White Wing Gundam Gold Stamp card. Let's see if we get a code on it or number. SP-7 Gundam. Let me just try that. 0 matches sold. For 0 matches, looking up SP-7 Gundam. None found. How do I find this card? Gundam War. The one to the left. I figured that one with the stamp on it must have been tournament winner. That one's actually a tournament winner stamp. You would think that would be like something. Let me look up this though. Oh, so this is actually a different back. So this is a different back from these ones. Gundam War versus Gundam MS War. I don't know if I can find this. Oh, it's actually 4:30. I'm going to have to wrap up really, really soon. I will try to find this card on eBay quickly. I do see it now. Or I see something. Oh, it's a model. It's like a building kit model thing. But yeah, like this card, I don't even know how I'd find it on eBay. Because I searched that number, XXXG-00 or OOWO, Wing Gundam 0. MS-025. That's the thing with these really niche things. Okay. I actually see it right here. Best offer accepted, 100 or best offer, 200 or best offer. MS War will be your most liquid Gundam cards. Well, I appreciate the information. There's one listing and there's 2 offers accepted. So yeah, this one might be like a $100 card or something. Very interesting. Again, the Gundam is all just kind of like gravy. Ah, there's a binder dent. So the issue with it being here, it got a binder dent over the years. So I don't know if that will still have value. Seems like no one's grading Gundam. I don't know if a binder ding will still be fine for a lot of people. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as if it didn't have a binder ding. But yeah, I'm going to quick flip through this binder, and I'm going to wrap up with Gundam. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Didn't quite pull the numbers I pull with Pokemon stream, but it is a Friday. I normally don't stream on Fridays. I had no babysitter yesterday. My sister's son had a snow day. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to look through. There's some more MS War, so there's some more of that. The more liquid stuff, which is good to see. I appreciate everyone hanging out, as always. Little bit of a different stream. Here's some World of Warcraft, actually. I didn't show any of that. I will probably do like a couple Instagram posts. Joe Carre is one of 3 people grading Gundam. So a pretty niche thing. Yeah, here's some hollow. There's actually a so in WoW, there's actually like redemption cards. This is actually a mount. So you scratch that off and you get a code. Let me look this one up. I didn't notice that one. So War Party Hitching Post Loot. So it's a loot card for WoW. Wow, there we go. Oh wait, it's listed high, but there's another one listed lower. There's one listed for 370, but there's one listed for 80. Sold for $70 to $90. So there's a $70 to $90 card. I don't know if they're collecting it just to collect it. I don't know if they're actually scratching it and using the mount in the game. But yeah, there's a WoW card. Like a lot of these are probably worth nothing. There's a card that's randomly worth $70. Like it adds up. There's another one right there. Landro's Lichling. I don't know how to say that. There's another one, Bloat the Bubblefish. I'll have to check out all these loot cards. Here's some different Dragon Ball Z stuff. Crazy collection. I'm not going to do like every week until these are gone. I'm not going to do a stream on these. But I'm going to do periodic non-Pokemon streams just to go through some more of these. It's pretty interesting. Next week's stream, going to the post office to drop packages. But yeah, I'm already 5 minutes into overtime. I appreciate everyone hanging out, watching along. Feel free to hit me up in the DMs if you're after anything. But yeah, I'll probably take a while to get back because there's a lot of work here and I got to get it sorted out. But that's going to be it for now. Next week, given that it's Thanksgiving week, I'm definitely going to do my stream on Wednesday. I'm definitely not streaming on Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving, so I will do a Wednesday stream next week. Tomorrow's a MetaZoo video. Monday is going to be a video on my plays with the Ultra Premium Collection Charizard and my future thoughts on the Ultra Premium Collection Charizard. Josh says, bright purple text on bottom of WAR cards are epic, rares, white is common. I appreciate that. Those are the kinds of things that are valuable to me in trying to figure out what to look for. I did know about the unscratched loot cards, though, beforehand. But yeah, that's going to be everything for today. I appreciate everyone hanging out. I'm going to publicly share the link on Instagram to the videos at some point so that more people can see, more people can reach out if they want to buy anything. But yeah. Everyone have a great weekend. Have a great Thanksgiving next week if you don't watch any of my content or I don't see you between now and then. And I will